just beat the live. We should be live now.
You can't burp. There's a new YouTube thing that
Burp.
says you can't burp within the first 15 seconds.
Can't swear. Let's see who's
Can't
going to swear
can't
first.
burp, can't fart.
Whoever swears first, I'm going to call out. You've demonetized us.
Damn it! You know, statistically, you guys...
All right, we're on.
We're on, cool.
We're on,
you guys
or-
have sworn more than I have, I reckon.
Yeah. Ever since we did that, I swear the
Ironically.
most by far.
I don't know how many episodes did we do with no swearing.
A lot. You know, that's where they'll all be monetized. Those videos.
Yeah, that's sweet. Bigwig gaming cash flowing in.
Cash money. We do always get like offers for crypto kitties. I think it's called. To do ads for them.
I was about to swear.
It's
I
a lot,
did it under-
dude, a lot
under
of
my
money.
breath.
They want to pay us a lot of money. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy amount of money.
Even Logan Paul reached out to do his crypto zoo or whatever.
No, but I'm actually being serious. I'm actually being serious with the crypto kitty thing.
Okay.
You know what? We're just giving them free advertising now.
I know.
No, you got to say how bad they
Don't
are.
buy
Mike.
it.
Yeah, you got to say how bad they are.
Yeah, it's shit. Don't
a
get into
scam.
any of that NFT crap.
All right, cool. I think we're all good to go.
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Big Week in Gaming podcast. And what do you know? It's been a big couple of weeks in gaming. I'm Sweeney for episode 110 on this Thursday, the 12th of January, 2023. This week's show, what have we been up to over the holiday break, gaming or otherwise? How do we all go for our 2022 gaming resolution goals? We celebrate a belated Christmas with the Big Kringle and a massive Big Year in Awards special, including our 2022 Game of the Year. So joining me today, as per usual, is our executive producer, Intergot,
Hello.
and Mike.
Hey.
How are you all going?
Good. I think that's the first time that you got through the whole thing without, like, you know, stumbling on some point. I didn't
I've
like
been
how you said 110 though. I did not like that.
I've been practicing it for like 3 weeks because we've
There you
had
go.
3 weeks to prepare for episode 100.
3 weeks off, 3-week Christmas break.
Yes. And look, obviously there's a lot of catch up, and you know, when it comes to what we've been playing and stuff, we'll obviously get to that in a second. But I just want to see how you guys are going. Did you have a good break?
Had a good break. I went to the Gold Coast with the family. Did the true blue Aussie holiday. It was actually really fun though. It's good with kids.
Well, where did you go? Which things did
Wet
you
n
go to?
Wild, not Dream World. Don't want to die. Although I did go to SeaWorld. Literally went to SeaWorld.
You know,
Isn't
Dreamworld's
it
the
the
only
other one?
place, like the only theme park up there I've actually been to. So
Oh, really?
Wait, are you sure? Because I thought we went to a bunch of them. No, we went to Movie World.
I didn't
You
go with you guys on that big class trip up there. So.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
Look, can I just mention? Do you guys remember that there was like a video of that class trip?
Yes. I don't.
Yes, you know where I'm
remember
going with this,
watching it.
Intergot.
Go remind me.
They showed it. All right, they showed the video
I
in
think I did.
class to, you know, and so anyone that also didn't go on the trip got to see some of the stuff. And
sucks.
I guess at Wet n Wild Water Park or whatever, right? Obviously they have water slides, and on the video that was, I'm guessing, edited by the teacher, right? This is a high school, right? Like, I don't know what the equivalent in American high school like is. It like
it's like middle school, so
Middle
it's
school.
like
yeah,
fine,
right?
they're like
So
16.
just
16.
keep that in
Yeah.
mind. Keep that in mind.
It's 15 or 16, right? Sweeney?
We're 15, I think.
Yeah, 15, 16.
On
Yeah.
the video, they did not edit out a clip of one of our fellow female students going down the water slide and the top coming off.
Now, can I
And they
correct
showed
you?
it in class to everyone.
You don't edit out; they edited it in. Yeah, I remember that.
I like just that coming to mind is like, how did that happen? Like, teachers throwing hammers at us. Like, what was that?
I know that. You know, I don't normally tell people that story about how a teacher was throwing a hammer at.
Story, wow.
But it's just like, I still think the fact that I think it was the same teacher, would just come and play like The Simpsons sometimes. It would just like roll in like a TV and go, watch The Simpsons.
We
That's
had
the
like
class.
three like woodwork theory classes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That was just watching Titanic back to back because it's such a long film that it took 3 classes.
Well, he was, he or she, I'm not going to remember who the teacher was trying to explain how to not build the raft that they got stuck on at the end in their last scene.
Like, because our school, it was much easier to rank it from the bottom, right? Like the high school that we went to. But it's kind of like incredible when you talk to other people.
It was incredibly bad. Like really, really bad.
And by the way, like there's some teachers that to this day we all love, and if we see them on the street,
Yeah, some are really cool.
I had a lot of good memories there as well.
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
Lots of fun. Minimal learning. Lots of fun.
I think we could have learned a lot more. Like woodworking, I have to learn that shit on YouTube now because I learned nothing from school. Like zero.
Well, you got to watch Simpsons episode instead.
That's
Titanic.
true. And I do love Simpsons. I don't like Titanic though.
Mike, you were talking the other week the fact that you got blocked out from using computers in computer class.
I did. That's the kind of school we went to. Yeah, I wasn't for 6 months or something. I wasn't allowed to touch a computer.
Man, there's some crazy stories,
man.
but yeah, I do remember that. That is funny. But no, Gold Coast was good. Pool every day, all that kind of stuff. Didn't go to the beach at all though.
Oh.
Yeah, the family that we were traveling with, not a beach family. Thought that was a bit weird.
Your family, you mean, or another
No,
family?
we
you were
traveled
traveling
with another family, so we
Okay.
had a joint place and everything. It was really cool. It was like 5 kids, so it was really
That's
fun.
fair enough. Not
Did you
everyone
go to
likes to stand
surfers
up
at all
there.
though?
No. Well, like we went
okay.
right to the cusp of it. I saw the sign, and I'm like, "Let's go this way." It's like, "No, let's go have dinner." I'm like, "This is crazy. This is
Lame.
this is so weird." Because I love the beach, but yeah, whatever. There's great beaches in Sydney though, so I'm globally speaking, I'm kind of spoiled.
You're pretty
so-
set.
Yeah, exactly. Go from one great beach place to just another great beach place. So, how about you, Mike? What did you get up to?
No beaches, unfortunately. And by the way, one thing I do remember about that trip.
You
We
talked
did
about
get
the
to-
Gold Coast trip when
The
you,
Gold
like 20
Coast
years
trip,
ago.
yeah, 20 years ago. I do remember walking around on the beach and having to borrow my friend's sunglasses. Yeah, it was great. 'Cause I forgot to bring my own like an idiot.
What you're alluding to, because in Europe that's pretty normal, right? That's
super
pretty
normal in
It's
Europe,
super
yeah.
like super
Sure.
normal in Europe.
Yeah.
Like that's almost like whatever, right? In America, very abnormal generally, right? In Australia, I think like pretty abnormal in Sydney and Melbourne, but for some reason the Gold Coast, it's more European. Let's just call it that. Let's be tactful, and we don't want to get demonetized, obviously, so we're going to be tactful.
You know how like they do like psychological, historical profiles on serial killers, and they break down their upbringing, what happened. I can just look at different moments in Mike's upbringing, like Sextras, like the Gold Coast trip, and everything, and I can see where he got to where he is today. I really can.
Are you calling him?
I was about to say, where's the serial killer connection? But I understand.
Oh, no,
I understand what you're trying to say.
No, yeah, I'm not calling him serial killer. I'm just saying how they break down
like
the
the Golden
upbringing,
State
the
Killer?
moments.
Yeah,
and
does
stuff.
it not make sense to you? Yeah.
I probably should have said, not that you're a serial killer, but
Well, even
could
that
be-
implies that I could be turning into one.
Yeah, you could be something else serial. So at least he called you a serial killer. But, all right, and how about you, Swinny? What did you get up to?
look, honestly, not much. I took this chance to really just relax. I was still because I was kind of sick towards the end of December. I just wouldn't go away like a cough, and finally got over that, and just lots and lots of gaming we'll get to in a second as well. But just really relaxing. Definitely, I'm not a beach person, so I'm not going to be heading up to Gold Coast anytime soon. But,
There's no yakuza at the beach, so
No. Well,
Portable?
well, in the games. But anyway,
can I just say before we get on with it, like if there were achievements in real life, would that get you to do more things in real life?
I don't think so, because like I've talked before about my toothbrush having achievements,
And you
it's
love
not
that.
like No, I don't care. It's not like I sat there trying to unlock them.
No.
So,
But I'm saying
Actual
achievements that are
achievements.
locked into the Microsoft ecosystem. Because you were so crazy, you bought a Microsoft phone. I think you are that nuts.
Windows phone.
Windows
phone's cool. No, look.
What if you got
at some point-
1,000 points to go to the beach? Would you do it?
No, because it's not a numbers game.
What
for
do
him,
I have to do?
think.
Yeah, exactly. I don't actually care about my gamer score. So otherwise I'll be buying
Unless there
cheap
was an
games and-
RPG that
life is an
somehow
RPG.
required you to
Life
do
is an
shit in real
RPG.
life.
Okay, now you're saying the RPG moment part of it. That changes things.
Life is added as a game. And they're debating on the forums if it's an RPG or not.
Yes, that you've convinced me now.
Beautiful.
But before we get into what we've been playing in over the last couple of weeks, just wanted to make an announcement. So now, for anyone that's been listening the last couple of episodes or so, that Intergot's finishing up on this, basically this show. Like you said, we said the Christmas show, but because we didn't do a specific Christmas show, so I guess the announcement is the fact that I'm kicking Mike out of the show, and I'm going to be starting my own one, and I'm going to be changing it to Bigwig in Gaming. So that's the new. It's a solo podcast. It's all, nah. But the actual announcement is this will be the last regular episode of Big Week in Game Podcast. Unfortunately, sadly, I guess, it's not the end of the channel outright. We may potentially bring something back in, I guess, more maybe a regular format, do special streams, maybe do special features whenever we want to. Things like, maybe I'll update the Kemco tier list as a thing like that, or might do another game awards reaction video or Nintendo Direct and stuff that I guess is a bit more kind of like when we just feel like it, but who knows, maybe we'll come back with something that's a bit more a structured thing in the future, but I don't think it'll be the same format of the show if we do. But we'll obviously share some more thoughts later on towards the end as we wrap some stuff up, but I don't know if there's anything you guys want to comment on that. So
yeah, it's been a good run. I mean, we'll cover it at the end of the show as well. But one thing that I've been debating, because I definitely, number one, want to do like reactions to, Nintendo Directs, because it's just watching it with someone. That's kind of fun, right? I love doing that kind of stuff. So we'll definitely do that. I'm always up to watch, the E3 stuff. Like, I know it's crazy hours and everything like that. All that kind of stuff I'd be really keen to do. End of year show. Like, I'd still be keen to do that kind of stuff. But one thing that I have been thinking of doing is I want to do, like, I've got this in my mind. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I want to do, like, I was thinking about a show where it's like something along the line, like a very highly sardonic show where it's like, I don't know what it's called, something like The One Gaming Opinion or something like that. And it's basically just taking the piss out of things I hate about modern gaming that, like, everyone accepts is the right way it should be. Like how fucking games are so long.
I've got a name for you. It's the Angry Dad Gaming.
The Angry Dad.
Video Game Dad. That's it. I got there eventually.
No, but I want to keep it straight. I want to argue it right straight and never try to break that character. It's in my head, like this idea. I want to play around with it and see if I come up with it. I'll send you a video if you see what you think of it. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Mike, have you been thinking about anything, or you want to say anything?
I'd reserve it to when we talk about it as part of the segment. But obviously, it's pretty sad news. It's been really cool doing the stuff with you guys, and I'm hoping that we can still do things ad hoc on the channel. See what people think as well, and maybe there's things that they want to specifically have us come back and do once in a while. So happy to see what other people say as well.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it in detail.
Yeah, I think with us covering the weekly news and stuff where the show really got to, I think some of that is, the grind around that is real, and that stuff, obviously there's people that do YouTube and channels and podcasts for a living, and obviously this is a hobby for us. But yeah, look, there's a lot of fun stuff to, we made it 110 episodes plus. So we'll chat about that after we've got through all our special segments. But we're going to kick things off with what we've been up to the last couple of weeks gaming-wise. So, Intergot, what have you been up to?
Yes. Next segment. So I have been playing. What have I been playing? Splatoon 3.
What?
Holy!
I'll try to go through.
Allegedly, how many hours? Because I don't
think
know if I believe
160,
those
170 or something.
Okay. I was expecting higher than that.
I was expecting higher.
No, like I said, once I've gotten so much stuff in the game done. I don't know. I'm just playing the multiplayer now. So as I said, I'll focus mostly on playing the Splatfests. Mm-hmm. But the Splatfests do require a lot of time. Splatfest is just basically 2 days on the weekend. Like it doesn't start exactly like when the weekend starts. It's like 11 or 10 a.m. on Saturday. But the trouble is, it's like I think you need to play it for like 3 hours to quote unquote complete it. And I've kind of committed to saying to myself, okay, every Splatfest, I'm going to go and complete it. And I'm like, oh shit. So I was away on the holiday trip when the Splatfest was happening.
With you, right?
I took the whole fucking thing. Oh okay, shit, demonetized. There you go, I'm demonetized.
There you go, it was you all along.
What have I done? Oh, you idiot.
Hey, what? Thank you.
You idiot. I've demonetized the channel. Sorry, boys. So, yeah, like, I took the dock, I took everything. So I could play it, right? And it was fun. So, yeah, like Splatoon 3.
What does you do when you go on a family holiday?
No. To be clear, I brought only multiplayer games. And I brought my GameCube controllers. So we had 8 controllers for Smash.
Whoa, nice.
Mario Kart, like had a good setup.
If you're planning on like so you can play it for other people as well, then that justifies.
It was all party games, and then I was the only one who played the Switch at all. Like we were so
Everyone
tired.
was like outside at the park.
Support the count.
No, but everyone was so tired. It was like it's like you wait until or like maybe
shut up, Sonny, and play.
When you got
Daddy,
kids,
I'm too tired.
It's just crazy, man. It's really exhausting. I've also been playing Picross, getting through a lot of that. Game Boy version and Switch. Now, so what I'm doing at the moment is, and it's part of like why I want to roll off the show because I want to stop focusing on playing the latest games coming out or caring about that at all. So I'm actually, even though I think I've beaten all of these games, almost certainly beaten all of these games, I'm going back to every single Metroidvania style, 2D Metroidvania style, Castlevania, and Metroid game. Nice. And I'm trying to play them in order, apart from Symphony of the Night, because I just don't have an easy way. I want to play that on the Steam Deck, effectively. So I'm waiting until that comes to Australia. So anyway, and that's not just beating them. I want to 100% them. So I've clocked and 100%ed Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Metroid Zero Mission. So
nice.
Quick 1 minute review of each one. Mm-hmm. Circle of the Moon, interesting, not made by Iga. So a lot of people don't consider it canon. He doesn't consider it canon at all in the storyline or part of the genre. It plays so well on the Pocket. I can understand how people really didn't like it on the original Game Boy Advance. There's some sections in that game that are so dark, and it looks great on the Pocket. But I could imagine on the Game Boy Advance it'd be like so annoying, right? But awesome game. A bit too much grinding in that game. Like, the Dracula fight is insane. It's fucking insane. And then when I actually looked into it, people are like, oh, this is like the hardest boss in the Castlevania history. I was like, what?
Damn.
So anyway, I got through that. And I also got through what do you call it, Swinny? Where you have to beat like level after level after level up to like a level 20, like a rush mode type of thing.
Yeah, I can't remember what
Horde
the mode's
mode?
called in that
It's
game,
not Horde mode, but it's called a battle arena in Circle of the Moon. But you know what I mean? Like, I can't remember what the type of that thing is. Like that grinding, like you have to, beat like level after level in a row with no like health upgrades or whatever.
Like a boss rush, but like
it's
a level
kind of like
rush.
boss. It is like a boss. It's like an enemy rush, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's room after room. So I got through that. Really love it. Like, highly recommend people playing that game. Harmony of Dissonance, which is the second one as part of the Game Boy Advance series. Iga came back to make this one. I actually don't like it. I think it's pretty weak. And I feel like it's such a reaction to Circle of the Moon. Like, when you actually understand the whole story behind it, it makes more sense, the game. But as a standalone game, it's kind of frustrating.
My favorite part about it's actually the music of Harmony Dissonance. Like, it is actually, to me, it's the weakest of the three, as you said.
Yeah.
But I like the music in Harmony Dissonance. So.
Yeah. I see, like, the second form fight of Circle of the Moon is sick. Like, that's some of the best music. Yeah, Harmony Dissonance, I didn't like the music so much, but man, I don't want to give it away, but like the mechanism in that game that develops in the mid game, it's so freaking annoying. Like the backtracking, it reminds me of like Donkey Kong 64 or something like that. It's just like frustrating how it works. And the movement, anyway, I know Aria Sorrow is amazing. Like, so that's the next one in the GBA lineup. Metroid Zero Mission, I also love that game so much, but I don't like how it gives you too many hints. Like, I feel like that's a big weakness in that game. that kind of it's almost like hard for me to say it's the definitive version. Like, there's so many things that are better than Metroid on the NES, but giving all the hints, it sort of makes the game way too easy. It's kind of a weird one. I beat the whole game really quickly.
I've given up pretending that I like the original NES Metroid. Like, the game's just too punishing. It's
punishing as hell. Yeah, it is really punishing. And what I was trying to play is Metroid Samus Return, so that's on the 3DS, which I do think is the definitive version of that game. It's a great game. I got up to the first little bit of that game, and then my 3DS proceeded to die. So, as I was saying to the guys before the show. So, I don't know. I got to buy a new 3DS or do something or figure it out. So,
pour one out for you.
I know. It's
I had to double check that. I had to double check that he was signed on for that one.
That goes your 3DS that you were holding.
My 3DS is over there. It's unfortunate because it's like the really cool, like uncommon 3DS in the States with a Mario Maker covers. It looks sick. But
oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try to repair it. But yeah, I'm just getting through all of those. So it's good fun. How about you, Mike?
Kind of in the same vein, been playing a bit of Metroidvania games over the last 3 weeks. So I started Ghost Song.
Yes, finally. I've been waiting weeks for you to be back on the show.
Talk about it.
To talk about fucking
Well, I can't
Ghost
talk about it till this guy gets back. So I'm just going to fill in dead air by saying,
I can hear you.
No, Mike. Big quick sign.
I still got my headphones on. I can hear you.
So Ghost Song, which I started originally when I think it first came out on Game Pass a couple of months ago or something. Didn't have time to play it at the time. And then I had a little bit of a semi-quiet period over the break. Although I was still working, by the way, which meant I didn't really get as much time to do stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I gave Ghost Song a proper shot, and once you really get into it, I really got engrossed. I really enjoyed that game. I love the music. I love the story. I mean, it's very Souls-like in its structure and in its story. It doesn't explain much, but you get what's happening.
I mentioned it when I briefly brought it up in the show that, on the, because I think it was a Kickstarter game, it literally says Dark Souls and Super Metroid. And out of there's a lot of games you could say fit that bill, but this is the most game
it actually
that fits that bill. It's
fits
like
it exactly
in the middle of those two games.
It's totally in the middle of them. It's they literally took the feel, if that makes sense, of Metroid and mixed it with the mechanics and stuff of the Souls game. And I did most of it in the game, I think. As in, I got most of the upgrades, most of the stuff. I got there's no good and bad ending, but the different ending, the second ending you can get, I looked it up just in case there were multiple endings or I missed anything at the end. And it was really good, really awesome game overall. Good flexibility to try different types of weapons, because you can change. It's got the sort of Hollow Knight mechanic where you can you get certain amount of power points that you can use, and then you can slot in different abilities, let's say, or different weapons that use a bunch of energy up to the max amount that you get. So
it was almost like the Surge things. Almost. You remember the Surge, you have X amount of chips that you can put in,
like
and
that,
each of them take a different amount of power from away from your I guess, pool of power.
Exactly.
It reminded me a bit of that. So
and look, overall fantastic. Highly recommended. I think Into God, you would really enjoy that game as well. The next one, again, another one that I started yonks ago, but then I never really got into it properly. And then Into God kept talking about it, and I'm like, all right, let's give it a proper shot. I always knew it was good. I actually kind of enjoyed it the first time I played it. Again, I just didn't have time to be able to play it, and that was Tunic. And I love that game. It is such a cool game. So I clocked.
I was just flagging, Tunic's one of our Game of the Year nominees, so we'll also talk a bit more about it then. But
I'll talk about it more. But fantastic game. I'll leave most of the details and stuff till we talk about it, but I'm really glad I played it. It reminded me a lot of some of the Zelda games that I had played. And it was one of the few games where I actually had to take out a piece of paper to do some stuff. And I didn't want to look things up. I didn't want to cheat. I didn't want any of that, because it gives you clues, but it gives you clues that you kind of need to think about a little bit. And it was fantastic. Loved the experience.
I actually played through Tunic as well, finally. And it's almost like the perfect marriage of, like, it's got some Dark Souls combat, but it's like if you mix like Fez and Zelda and a bit of Hyper Light Drifter and kind of that like obscure by design, as you said, get out the pen and paper kind of thing. And yeah, it's just like there's not that many games that do that well anymore, that kind of thing where you have to actually figure out like some really cool hidden puzzles that are kind of in front of your eyes the whole time, you know? So.
Yep. And I did actually, I haven't tried it, I might try a brand new game. Some of the stuff, so the way the game works without spoiling anything, because you realize it right at the start, is there's an in-game manual, but you find the missing pages as you progress through the game. And you find a particular page that tells you how to do something that I'm wondering, can you do that from the very start of the game? You just don't know? I feel like you probably can. I don't know if it's locked behind finding the page first, or whether you can actually always do that. I haven't tried it yet.
Behind a page, but
exactly, which is freaking awesome. Like I love that idea that it's been there all along. You just didn't know how to do it. So
that's what I said. It's like Fez, man. Like it's got that hook to it, you know.
Exactly like that. And another one I think that Intergot would love is Fez. I think if you're into like trying different games and stuff like that, highly recommend that one. And the last game was High on Life, which I also started and clocked. Now, I know it's a polarizing game, but I personally really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it felt fresh and different. It had good mechanics, some funny dialogue, and a lot of funny dialogue, I think, like I mentioned last time we spoke, that isn't even necessarily even part of the core game, if that makes sense. Like, there's things that you can do that only get triggered if you like wait around for a little while, or there's a character who does something and you're like, what if I just sit here and listen to any potential conversation that comes up? And it's one of the few games in recent memory that had me laughing out loud a bunch of times, and I think that's a testament to actually an enjoyable game. Now, I think you two didn't click with you. I think you both tried it.
I liked it. I just didn't play a lot of it.
You weren't as huge into it.
Look, I actually like Rick and Morty, and I kind of like that humor, but I don't know, something about the game just kind of like, I don't know.
I don't think the game starts off that well, but I think once once the gameplay starts opening up a bit, I think. And look, as everyone knows, like the dialogue, it's really could be hit or miss for people. You know, like I think it's pretty funny, but also stuff drags on. So you've got to like that humor that kind of takes the joke beyond the punchline and keeps dragging it. That's kind of Roiland's humor in general.
Way beyond.
So. But what shocks me about High on Life is, so in terms of like just on Xbox, in terms of the amount of game, like the top games played of the year, it's like 14. And like you look at the games above it, and it's all like Roblox, Apex Legends, Modern Warfare. Like I'm shocked how many people have actually played the game. It's like I remember when they had trailers and stuff for it, like it didn't feel like it had much buzz at all, and then suddenly everyone's really playing it.
That was a smash hit for Game Pass.
That was it. But it had a lot of original ideas. I think the Gatlians, so the guns that you use, are very original as a concept compared to most first-person shooters and stuff. And just little elements like that were really, really cool and well implemented, I think. So it's worth playing through it. But I mean, if it doesn't click, it doesn't click. And to be honest, the gameplay itself is a little clunky, and it was fairly buggy.
Dude, the gameplay is super average. Like
that part wasn't the greatest, but it's still really enjoyable.
But I'm not expecting it to be amazing.
No, and it's not a AAA title or anything like that. So, but it was a breath of fresh air, breath of fresh air, in terms of the genre, first-person shooters and stuff. So, what about you, Swinny? Any specific games?
So, I've been playing some games. I've been playing a little bit of Yakuza. You know, a little bit. So every time I'm on the Xbox and I see Mike's name pop up, I'm like, is he checking what I'm playing? Because every time he popped on, I'm bloody playing Yakuza. Whether or not it's...
No, I wouldn't bother checking. I just assume.
So I played through Yakuza 1, or Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remake of Yakuza 1, which was really, really fun. You know, I played Like a Dragon like a month or so, or 5 weeks ago. So my jumping on in point was the latest game, but I've gone back and I'm going to play through all the games, all right? So I played through Kiwami 1, which is really good fun. Jumped into Kiwami 2, which is, you know, remake number 2, and that's where I fell in love with the series. Kiwami 2 is so fun, and it's just like that, and that's remade on the latest engine that Like a Dragon's on as well. So the game like looks great and everything plays great, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's jump in straight from number 2 to Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3 remastered, which is a big. That unfortunately the jump between them is pretty big because Yakuza 3 is like an relatively early PS3 game. At times it looks like an upscaled, almost Dreamcast game, and the gameplay is definitely more outdated. But the story is really cool, and you get used to it. So I completed Yakuza 3. I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll just start Yakuza 4. So Yakuza 4 remastered. So playing through that, and they went pretty wild. So there's been the same main character, and then suddenly you play this. The whole storyline is split between 4 different protagonists, each different play styles and different chapters of the story. It's kind of insane. So I really enjoyed that. Played through Yakuza 4. Like, you know what? I'll play through Yakuza 5. So I'm actually currently playing through Yakuza 5. So I completed 4 Yakuza games. After Yakuza 5, I'll be going to 0, which is the prequel, which a lot of people say start with 0, but it came out after 5. So I'm going to play through in the release order, other than the remakes. And then after that, I'll have 6, which is the latest game other than Like a Dragon. But then there's 2 other games, which are the Judgment games, Judgment and Lost Judgment, which are set in the same universe, but they're like detective, courtroom kind of games and stuff that people seem to love. So a lot of Yakuza. And it's I said it when I was talking about Like a Dragon, but the fact that they're able to build up these same areas, like a lot of the time you're running through the same city block that's almost like a quarter of the size of Melbourne CBD, for instance, right?
Whoa.
But you get to know, like, I actually know the street names, I know everything, where the shops are.
And it's based on the real setting in Tokyo?
It's based on, so it's like a fictionalized version of a real city. Okay. But like a lot of the shops look like the actual shops in the real place in Japan and Tokyo and stuff. But just the amount of detail, because they've had all these games to populate all the assets, and they're able to like combine them all. So it's kind of insane. But yeah, really enjoying it. And the other game that I spent a bit of time on was I finally finished and played through God of War 3, aka God of War 3 Remastered. So that was the whole, I guess, impetus for my PlayStation Pile of Shame resolution, which we'll talk about soon. And yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. So it's now I can finally, my head finally jump into the actual like modern God of War games. So yeah.
No, you're not missing out on much. It should have just stayed where it was.
So talking about gaming resolutions,
yes,
we've got to reveal how we went with our 2022 goals.
Oh God, sorry guys, I need to go.
So we each had, for anyone that hasn't been following along, we have been giving some update, and I've been talking, like we've all been talking about the resolutions throughout the year as well, but we each had 3 resolutions. We set some scores to it. Intergot sported up on the video version. So honestly, a lot of this show, I recommend watching the video version on YouTube if you can, because it's going to have a lot of like visuals. But we've got our resolutions. So I don't know, Intergot, do you want to kick things off?
Yes. So I had, and by the way, I'm not doing any resolutions this year, gaming or otherwise. So I should say that. I
had ideas in mind, but with us not doing the regular show anymore, I didn't come up with new ones.
Yeah, and I'm not anti-resolutions. It's just, not gaming ones, especially, I guess. So I had finished the story of Ring Fit Adventure. I give that a big, fat fail.
Oh, damn it.
I didn't really play the game much more. It's a really good game. It's a really good game. Honestly, I'm just too fat to play the game. It's like...
And
it's perfect. It's perfect then.
It takes too much of a toll on my body. I need to the problem is you either do the running or you do squatting instead of running.
Ah, fuck, they're both just
they're
bad.
they're just as bad as each other.
I will say it's not an older person's game, given the running mechanic.
Or like he said, I'm in the same boat. I actually went to put the Switch in the other room just to play this game again, and I'm sitting there and I did a few squats to warm up, and I went, no. I can't.
Squats are insane. Squats are like the best exercise. If you could only do one exercise for the rest of your life, it'd probably be squats.
Probably
squats. So yeah, I am hopeful that I will be able to beat this. I won't commit to a 2023 deadline. Maybe before Ring Fit 2 comes out. But it is a really good game. Highly recommended for everyone.
I'm actually shocked they haven't put out a number 2 yet. You know, it just feels like it sold a bunch.
Well, yeah, look, they probably have the data, or knowing Nintendo, they probably don't have the data. But I kind of wish that they just released like a DLC pack for it or something like that. Like that would be awesome. I'd imagine they'd sell a ton if they did that.
Not that you need the DLC pack.
No, but I'll probably buy it anyway because it's first party Nintendo. I have to buy everything first party Nintendo. Which I think I literally have almost every first-party game outside of the Pokemon games. So for my second resolution, which was 2022 positive ratio, so positive clocked games versus games that I've bought, I actually think this is a good resolution. Like, I think it kind of kept me honest. It kind of made me want to cheat the system a little bit, play some extra games. I think I have some of the games here. You know, like, it was good. Like, I ended up maintaining. I've got more games than I've clocked, but I had more games than I clocked than I bought in the end. So yeah, I'd say this is a pass. It did get me to, like, a game like Slay the Spire is a good example. I think normally I wouldn't care if I beat it or not, like roll the credits. But I really wanted to because I was like, shit, then I can add this to the list, right? So it kind of got me even more competitive in that game. But yeah, like, I don't think that was a bad resolution. That was probably a good resolution to do, and I will say I passed that.
Nice
Now,
work.
My third resolution was play significantly. Whoa, debate's gonna happen. Significantly play all of the 2022 Game of the Year, Game Awards, nominees. Then I said the metric is play. See what I did there, boys? Play. Now, I definitely played all of the games, right?
Yeah, look, I'd say that if you looked at, you beat most of the games on the list. So,
Yeah, but I think, like, Ragnarok, I barely played that, really. I played it for 3 hours or something.
Elden Ring,
I beat
Stray.
I beat Stray. I definitely wouldn't have beat. I beat the Horizon, yeah.
However,
you beat half of them, I should say.
There is one word that is capitalized, and that is all. All. So,
But it's the metrics that you have to look at, right?
Look, I'm reading up the. We've got a few. I don't know if you can scroll down, but we've got a few different variations of these scorecards.
I'm trying to see if I can. I can't. I don't know how to do this. Actually,
there's one that's a pass. With,
missing
a P.
I'll give it that.
I was gonna give it an ass.
I prefer giving it ass. Yeah, I'll give it ass. Okay, and given that it's 3 out of the 4, I'll give myself 3 points for that. So my final score will be 4 plus 3. My final score is 9. Now, Mike.
Wait, 4 plus 3. How did you get to 9?
Huh? Because I said 2 from here, 4, and then 3 because there's 3 letters. A-S-S. I'm missing the P. That's 3 points.
No, you can only have 3 points for one and 4 points for the other.
What?
That's 7 in total.
I'm so confused.
I'm trying to understand what you're getting. I'm like, yeah, that's up to 7.
That's 7. Where did you get 9 from?
2 plus. I'm not adding it. You can see it's a formula. Oh no, you guys can't see it.
No, I can't see no formula. I can see 4 points and 3 out of 4 in that one.
Look, this is just a formula.
Where'd you get the 2 from?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just saw the 2 and I wanted to add it.
The fuck?
That's funny. I was like, literally, are you guys dumb or something? That was funny. Okay. There we go.
Not 7.
I got 7.
I mean, actually, mine matter because we'll see.
It's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. The points don't matter. But I do like having scoring systems. Mike.
Yes. Okay, cool. So my number 1 was to clock a modern Assassin's Creed game, either Origin or Beyond. And I did actually play Origins, and I did clock it.
Oh, nice. So
even went beyond actually finishing it. Not that it mattered, but I actually did go beyond it, which...
That's Mike's first ever resolution he's completed.
Is that true?
I can't remember if we actually gave passes last year or not.
No, we definitely did because we did that last year. This half.
Maybe
half
mine
shit.
are too easy that there's no drive to actually complete them because it's too easy.
Well, they are very easy, but I think I did say you won't do any of them.
But it kind of isn't, kind of is not, because I realized even with something like Origins, halfway through I'm like, I just can't be fucked with this anymore. So,
but you did it because you have to.
I did it because I had to, but not because I really, really, truly enjoyed it.
So we gave Mike all fails last year. So I've actually brought up the tab for last year now.
Yeah.
But,
and I said I'm pretty sure on the show last year I said you will not do any of these. So I admire you've actually done it. You got 2 points so far. One of them. I'll go here.
So
okay,
number two was to clock The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I did not. Now, there was a reason why I did not. And my
there's no reason.
Is,
doesn't matter.
Well, my excuse is I did keep saying that I'm waiting for the upgrade. I'm waiting for the upgrade. Eventually, the upgrade came halfway through December or some shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't really because I was working through the break and everything. I just didn't really have the time. I kept playing it, but I didn't clock it. So it's a fail. Yeah. I tried. I actually legit tried that one. I really did.
How many more years are you going to drag?
I don't know. I think what I need to do moving
forward... For a game you had in your top 10 games of all time.
I know.
Yeah,
I think moving forward, I have to just solely delete everything else, and the only thing I'm allowed to play on every platform, because you can actually play it on every platform now. The save file works, other than my Xbox One.
Oh, not on
the
Stadia
bedroom,
anymore, but
there's a glitch.
How about their Stadia?
Well, I don't have a Stadia. Well, I don't use that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I like how you go, I don't have a Stadia. Is that the right word usage?
No. But I feel like I need to make it. If I was to have a resolution, it'd be just to finish this bloody game.
I'll put it. Okay, I'll just highlight that for the future.
I conveniently can't see the third one because it's so blurry on my screen.
Oh, really?
Now.
It says
yes.
Number 3, Clock, Mass Effect, Andromeda.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh boy.
And you gave yourself 2 points for that.
I don't know why. Yeah, because it was harder to get that one, to be honest. Because I felt that I would struggle being able to do that because I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into it. And I tried again. This is probably the 5th or 6th save. Yeah, at least the 6th save that I had on that game. And I get to a certain point and I just can't be bothered anymore. It just doesn't click.
Shit.
And it's annoying because there's a part of me that keeps being driven to want to play it. But then I play it and I'm like, you know what? I got better things to do with my life than play this. And it's not really that bad of a game either. So... Yeah.
I'm a defender of Andromeda in terms of, I think it gets undue hate. It was a shitty launch game, as in, at launch. But I think all the struggles you're going through, I don't think the game is worth it. The struggle for you to get into it. I don't think it's that worth it.
But it's actually not a bad game, and it's not. It's solid so far. There's just the dialogue, I think, and the characters just don't gel with me. It just feels badly written in some ways. And it's a shame, because I actually think it's a very solid game overall, and it doesn't deserve a lot of the hate that it got. I get where it came from, but anyway, I don't think I'll ever get back to this one. And I feel like it's always going to be in the back of my mind that I never finished this. And I love Mass Effect, so...
You know, when Mass Effect 4 comes out, you're definitely going to talk about it.
Probably.
Yeah. What if Mass Effect 4 is actually when they come out it goes Mass Effect 5? It's just the fuck with people. That would be awesome if they did that. I'd fucking love if they did that.
Someone back then's like, thank God we called it Andromeda and not Mass Effect 4.
That's true. All right. Anything else you wanted to add, Mike? Do you have any resolutions for 2023?
No, but I definitely feel in my gut that this will be the year that I will fully clock The Witcher 3.
Okay.
After another 500 hours spent in that game.
Beautiful. And Swinny.
All right, so my first resolution was to try out every game added to Xbox Game Pass in 2022. So when I first set this goal, I didn't really think through because it was like a last minute goal. And even to this day, I'm like, man, there's so many caveats I wish I'd put on this bloody thing. But the next episode, I did say, look, I didn't think about games I'd already played that have been added in, right? And I'm not interested in EA Sports games. I did add as an amendment to say, It doesn't include those, but any other new game that they add in, I'm going to try it out. And it's just, look, I might play it for an hour, I might complete it, I might play it for 30 minutes, I might just play the tutorial to get a feel for it. And Intego, I don't know if you can swap to the tab that says Swin Game Pass at the end.
Yeah.
So I bloody got there.
It
was tough. It was tough because for reasons I'll get to, right? Not tough like, it's literally just downloading the game and trying it, but there's so many pieces.
You're making it sound like you've gone to war or something.
No, but, all right, I guess I'll give the numbers before I talk a bit more about it. So there were 202 games added to Game Pass in 2022.
That's crazy. That's fucking
There
crazy.
were 179 that I deemed eligible to try. All the rest of them were actually ones I already played. I did actually end up trying out those EA Sports games. There were only 3. There's only 3. So, Okay. So I tried all 179. Some, as I said, I played a lot. Some I didn't play much at all. And I talked about around 109 of them on the show.
Yeah.
So about 61%.
I believe that. I believe that.
It originally was
that.
trying to talk about them all. It was especially when we'd take a week break, I'm I cannot catch up. This is ridiculous. So, and I only completed 13 of those games, but I was happy with the ones I completed. So, what was tough about it, and I wish this was a caveat, was I wish I would, first of all, I'd never recommend anyone ever doing this. It's just a pain in the ass, honestly. It was a good experience, but a pain in the ass at the same time. PC Game Pass just had so many like strategy games that you have to sit there and learn.
But
and
you don't need to play
games.
the PC ones.
No, it's X Game. It included anything on Game Pass.
No, it said here.
PC.
It goes Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, Xbox Game Pass for PC. Basically, I played all the
different.
PC ones as well.
Anyway, you stuffed yourself up, mate.
I played more than
Made it harder, but he played more than what he had to.
You got to improve this. You're just going to say Game Pass.
Games like Total War, where I'm like, this is cool, but I'm not going to sit here and learn. You have to play for hours to learn it.
Yeah,
so you
true.
play through it. You download 100 gig, and you play the tutorial, and you're like, okay,
Screw this. Delete.
And I did that so much for those strategy games. So, but look, I got to try some really cool games. There's a lot of shit on there, but there's some cool stuff as well. So it was a great experience. The whole point was broadening my horizon, and it did.
Can I ask, what game is a game that you would have never ever picked up and played that you played and you're like, hey, actually this is kind of a good game?
I have an award
FIFA.
category that's kind of in that direction.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that in our next segment.
Okay.
So,
I'll shut me down. All right.
Yes.
Can I say one quick thing about this in terms of the value for money that Game Pass is? I know we've spoken about this before and we've had some disagreements, but I think I played roughly $50 a year for Game Pass for 202 games. It's like 25 cents per game.
Yeah, but no one's played in 202 games.
No, but I'm saying, holy
that's
moly,
0.01% of people.
if you look at it that way, that is pretty good value.
Yeah.
Per game.
But there's a difference between value and value, right?
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, look, for $50, I'll only play one game and take a value out of it because it's still cheaper than buying that game retail in Australia. But still, that's actually quite incredible when you think about it.
I had
Thanks, Phil.
four more games to try out in the last day, so I was like, I did cut it a bit closer.
Yeah, so that's what I was hoping, that they would announce some things leading up to midnight. Every year with your shit, your fucking resolutions, I always hope they do something on New Year's Eve against you.
Because you hate.
I do.
So yeah, that was a fun one. I don't recommend doing anything like that though.
Or talking about it on the show.
But by the way, it's been 12. Funny you mentioned that. It's been 12 days and nothing's been added recently. I think the next game.
How dare they?
End of the month. No, it's just
They only added 200 games last year.
It's been a bit of a lull. Generally, every week there was something else.
It has been a bit of a lull,
but it's definitely been a bit of a lull. Yeah.
That's what it's like being on Xbox.
So yes, you get to.
That's
you
a
get
big pass. That's a giant pass. In my eyes.
Why
is his pass smaller than my pass?
It's because you've got 2 lines on yours. Hey,
that's better.
All right. So my second resolution was to complete my PlayStation pile of shame. So what that was basically I wanted to play through a bunch of PlayStation console exclusives to kind of fill a gap of PlayStation history in a bit. The odds and ends, not all just the games everyone loves, but the the things that I feel like notable in their history, plus some stuff that just looked cool. And so there were 13 games. And if you can swap to the tab that says Swin PS Pile, thank you.
I'm earning my
you are. Thank you very much.
Producer title.
So the last game, the number 13 was God of War 3 that I mentioned earlier in the show. So I actually had a big Mike, when you missed a couple of episodes, I completed Detroit, Ape Escape,
I was going to say, I don't remember Detroit,
and Last of Us all
Mate,
in the span of 2 weeks.
The thing is, when he completed Last of Us, I was legitimately pissed off at him.
What?
He thinks I was joking pissed off because I was like, dude, why don't you play Last of Us and I'll play it as well? It would chat about it, right?
I didn't tell you.
And he's like, nah, I don't want to play it. I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. I mean, it's only that we do a show together. And then the motherfucker just beat it out of nowhere. He goes, oh yeah, I beat that game. I'm like, you're an asshole. You are the asshole.
I did actually play a lot of games though, because I had PS Plus and I tried a bunch of stuff. But if you actually scroll down to the
Wait, can I just
lower on
ask
this thing-
something? Why have you got Uncharted Collection 1 and Uncharted Collection 2?
No, that's Uncharted 1.
Ah.
Yeah.
Part
Why
of
don't
the
you just put
collection,
Uncharted
the first
1 on there?
Yeah.
Because I just used that. It was the box art that I got for the PlayStation Store.
I mean, look,
Anyway,
I'm not.
Can you scroll? If you scroll down, there's another
Unacceptable.
list. There's another list that's a mini tier list.
Oh,
so I thought it'd be
I
better
like
just
this.
kind of talk.
Now let's really piss people off. Good work, Sweeney.
So the
love
ranking basically of the game, 13 games I played. I basically just had a very quick. I'm not going to go through it all, but Last of Us.
Now let's go through it from the bottom. C tier.
Okay, C tier, Knack was the worst of the 13 I played. But
That's awesome.
I wanted to play Knack because it's infamous and it's like a footnote in PlayStation history.
Yeah.
And I heard good things about the sequel, so I'm actually going to try the sequel, but it was the worst game on the list.
Yeah.
And then Ape Escape was probably
Wow.
Now, it's not a bad game, but of the rest of them, it's the game I least had fun with because... It's just there's some elements in that game that are very frustrating that haven't aged well in terms of just annoying. But the game's fun and it's very influential, right? Yeah. Then next is The Last Guardian, which I did talk about in the show.
Interesting, yeah.
Last Guardian is a good game, but man, I mentioned on the show, I got so frustrated at it because just there's moments where it's I know the solution, but I just can't get the creature to do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And I know it's like that on purpose, but it still pissed me off. So, then
You should have a cat.
yeah. Then Flower was cool, but it's still a good game. It's a shorter experience, but it's cool and
Shorter
it
is better. That should be S tier.
It uses
fixing
motion
your
control.
little
So then I'd say on the B tier,
S+.
Stray's probably it's a good game, but I didn't have as much fun as probably the ones beyond it. Uncharted 1. Cool game. I didn't.
You're such an Xbox fan. You're such a PlayStation hater.
No, look, I'm just ranking these. They're all good games in their own ways, except maybe.
Well, that's why you don't have a trash tier or something.
Yeah, but
they're all
anyway,
obviously good.
So Uncharted 1, really cool. I did play a lot of Uncharted 2, but I didn't finish it. So then the Order 1866, I actually really liked. 1886, sorry. I actually really liked as much as a lot of people hate that game. Still looks great to this day, an amazing looking game, early PS4 game. Then I'll probably Ratchet and Clank is the next one. Rift Apart.
Yeah.
Fun, really cool, looks great.
Looks amazing, right?
But compared to the 5 above it, just not as cool, I think.
Yeah.
On A tier, I had Jack and Daxter, the first game that I played on. Yeah, I love Jack and Daxter 1. I'm looking forward to trying the other ones now. God of War 3 remastered. As I said earlier, great game. It's just I love that fixed camera angle style action combat. Detroit Become Human. I nearly had this on the S tier.
Really?
Mike and I haven't had a chance to talk about it, but I really liked.
I haven't
Detroit.
finished it, so I really got to get into it. Yep.
And on S tier, I've got Tales of
No. You're only playing Witcher 3. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
On S tier, I had Tales of Berseria. I've talked about it a lot on the show.
Yeah.
Fun game. Not my favorite Tales, but it's still an S tier game for me. And The Last of Us is the best of the game.
Oh, okay. So
nice.
S tier. S tier.
Yeah.
Yep.
What would you give it out of 10?
Probably a 9.
Yeah, I love Sweeney.
It's all 9.5 for me.
I love Sweeney so much.
So look, this
not an S plus,
this
it's
was
just an
a
S.
this was a really good resolution. I'm really glad I did it. There's a
you
lot
do
of
say
games
so.
that I could have played instead, but I feel that it was a good cross-span across like PlayStation history as well.
Yeah,
So
that is really good. Yeah, I probably would have swapped Journey, Flower out with Journey, maybe.
I played through a lot of Journey. I did not like Journey.
Okay.
So
What happened with Horizon? Did you drop off of that game?
I did drop off.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
it's
play
such
a lot
like
of it.
it's. I don't know. It feels like such an Assassin's Creed style game for me.
I didn't like the early combat. I know it probably unlocks a lot of stuff, but it just didn't. Something about it didn't feel. But I'll go back to it. So,
Wow,
so yeah.
that's surprising.
And the last one. This is a quick one because I talked about it in the
get to
show.
where I am. Hey, did you
Which
unhide
is-
this? Okay. Oh, it's throwing me off.
Which is complete Assault Level 1 Dark Souls, which I did like the second
yeah.
week of the year.
I know. It wasn't even
about
that
1
hard.
year
I don't know
ago.
why it was worth 4 points.
So that was great. Not, as I said, like if you know the game well, it's not as hard as it seems because it's all based on gear rather than level. But really cool. Smail Ornstein and Bastards doing a no-hit run on them, but it was
That's crazy.
really cool.
That's the crazy part of that one.
And I don't have any resolutions for next year, but the one I was considering, if we, the show was going on, was to level up my Dark Souls run to a no bonfire run of Dark Souls 2.
Whoa.
So, which is actually it's a well-known challenge run, so much so you get a ring if you do it in the game. So, yeah.
No bonfire run.
No bonfire
what
run.
game?
So,
Dark Souls 2.
Wow.
Wait, so part of my ignorance. So if you died, you just start back at the beginning, or
So it's weird. You don't do it on the you do it on the New Game Plus, right? So it's really weird. Like you can build your character up, but then what happens if you die? You can only if you light a bonfire once. That's almost like you've used that checkpoint once. So you can light a bonfire, but you can't rest at it. So your Estus flasks only get replenished when you die and things like that, right? But if you die, you go back to the last bonfire you lit, not rested at. So there are situations in the game
Makes
where,
sense, yeah.
for instance, you don't light a bonfire for ages into the game, so you can light it in a pivotal point.
wow.
And then if you die on the last boss, you don't have to run the entire game back. But there's going to be times where if
Damn.
you die, you're running through the whole
Sounds
level.
complicated.
So it is much harder than a Soul Level 1 run, but yeah. Anyway,
okay.
I'm not going to be doing that this year. But,
Well,
it
well
was an
done.
idea.
Well done on
Yeah,
all
well
of
done on
them.
that. 10 out of 10. Look at that. You got 10.
Damn. Nice.
Sweetie, speaking of high school, we'll talk a lot about high school before the show as well.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I like how you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
That's
of course I do.
Yeah, that's an inside. This is a super inside joke. Okay, cool. All right. Now I'm like,
We
lost.
will not elaborate on that.
No, we can't. We'll tell you after the show, Mike. But it's just
Okay.
it's a fucking funny thing.
Oh, that was. I think we all leveled up except maybe Mike. We went above and beyond compared to last year. But Mike, you.
What are you talking about? He's made a massive increase, infinite increase from last
I was
year.
about to say, Mike, like you killed it on getting the Origins finished, and so
I guess, thanks, but yeah, that's just peanuts compared to actual achievements that you did. Like, I'm still blown away by the level 1 thing.
you know
I
what
couldn't do it.
that's
I could
cool.
not do it. I could not freaking do that.
yeah, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret that I didn't end up going with. But since May, I'd been planning on doing all of the resolutions, including yours.
That would
So
have been
much so-
awesome. That
so
would have
much
been
so-
awesome.
So much so, I had a tracker for the positive purchases and games completions, and I got positive at some point.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be
and-
so hard for you. That one. It's the
I buy a
Ring
lot
Fit.
I
The Ring
buy
Fit
a
will
lot of
kill you.
games.
Same.
Ring Fit, I started playing Ring Fit again,
That's awesome.
that would have been so cool.
but what I
He's all
realized.
trim and buff.
Yeah, exactly. He's
What I
hatred.
realized the
Wait a
Game
minute.
Awards nominees one was the hardest because it's like, fuck, like I don't want to play Ragnarok before playing God of War.
Oh, yeah, shit.
And the thing with mics, it's like, do I just check them off already because I technically
Yeah,
done
you
them in
have.
the
You've
past?
done them all, right? Yeah, you've done
But
them
does
all.
that count?
Of course it counts.
That's what I'm like. Do I just like beat the last boss?
It doesn't say do it this year. It just says to
That's
clock
true.
it.
That is
finish it.
true.
No, you've beaten. Yeah, you've ticked. That would have been, dude. I wish you did actually do that. That would have been
It
fucking
was-
awesome.
It was the Game Awards one that got me.
Not
'cause
Ring
I
Fit.
just-
Where'd you get up to in Ring Fit?
No, once I realized the Game Awards thing, I stopped playing Ring Fit. So
Okay. You reckon you could
I
have
will
done the
go
Ring
back to
Fit
it.
one?
Real good.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I would have been able to.
It's a lot of hours. It's like 35,
does it get
40 hours.
progressively harder, or is it just the time commitment?
It's like 35, 40 hours of exercise. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's like 40 hours of exercise. Oh, God, I can't possibly. Whoa, jeez.
In a lifetime?
Who do you expect me to be?
All right. Well, that was fun, but it's time to jump into the big segment of the week of last year, actually, which is the Big Year in Awards 2022. So we've got 16 categories, including our Game of the Year. And we have, just like the resolutions, we've got a tab. So anyone watching along will probably benefit from being able to see all the nominees and everything. But we will obviously talk through stuff. So I don't know, Mike, do you want to quickly say what the categories are? Just quickly?
Yep, so we got it's really blurry on my screen for some reason, but we got Activision / Blizzard presents biggest big story of the year.
I read it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want me to do it? Okay, CDPRs presents biggest I am disappoint of the year, the biggest face of the year, the biggest heel of the year, the biggest mic drop of the year, the biggest broken record of the year, my biggest amiibo of the year, Mike's biggest Souls-inspired Souls-like Metroidvania of the year, Swinny's biggest Game Pass edition of the year, my biggest game of the year, Mike's biggest game of the year, Swinny's biggest game of the year, the biggest game that none of us played, the biggest Don't Forget Me games, and our official Game of the Year.
Step aside.
And just to recount
Game of the
last
Year
year,
awards.
right? We didn't even have Ender Lilies on the list of nominees, so anything can happen.
We never know, man. It might happen again.
You got to pay attention.
All right, so let's not waste any time because there's a lot to get through. So, big story of the year. So this is the one that moved the needle. So we the 5 that we kind of nominated. Once.
I feel so bad. I actually went through all of these, and now I've got an adjustment. I feel like the id one needs to be in the list, man.
So the reason why it's in the honorable mention.
Yeah, okay.
The reason
it should be in the small one though. It should have been in the small one.
No, but everyone was talking about it. That's the thing. It's now the reason why I actually put that in over the voice actress one was because the id one is kind of like a respark of a story that's been around for years.
Sure,
but I'm happy to swap it. I'm happy to swap it in.
Well, it's not actually. It's the biggest mid story.
New category.
Yay!
All right.
Yeah. Well, maybe let's go through the honorable mentions then.
So we have EA dropping the FIFA license,
which is crazy. That we haven't seen the full effect of it yet. But that is crazy.
We have PlayStation buying Bungie and a bunch of other studios as well.
Yeah.
We had id Software versus Mick Gordon comes back from the dead.
That was crazy.
So in terms of the nominees, we have the Bayonetta voice actress fiasco.
Yep.
Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. The PlayStation Plus relaunch. Square Enix selling Tomb Raider and a bunch of studios, including Crystal Dynamics. And Stadia shuts down. I don't know about you guys, but there's one that speaks out to me more than the others.
Oh, I think there's obvious, like the biggest.
Is it though?
We named the category after them last year.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? That's right. Yeah. Look, like I think the Square Enix thing was kind of crazy because it was like a fire sale. I think they sold it all for like 330 million or something.
And what's weird,
cheap.
so they
cheap.
Embrace the Studios, bought all the stuff, but then Amazon is publishing the new Tomb Raider game. It's really weird.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I think that Embracer is just running out of money or something. Like in terms of cash flow, right? So like it's different when you're making these purchases because you can leverage your equity. But when if you have to pay developers, you actually have to have cash to give them. It's not just leveraging equity. So I think that, they're in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but I think that's the way that they're operating. Embracer is super interesting. I would love to talk to the guy that runs Embracer Group. He seems like a really interesting cat. He's like a collector of shit, like comics and everything. And he's basically collecting IP now. It's insane. He has Lord of the Rings, this guy. He owns Lord of the Rings, basically. It's fucking nuts. Stadia felt
too much
inevitable.
money to spend.
Stadia felt totally inevitable. It was going to shut down.
Yeah.
It was like a meme when it started that it was going to shut down.
I think the PS Plus relaunch had the biggest impact in terms of tangible. People are feeling it right now.
So far.
So far, yeah.
I was surprised about that, what they did. Like, the fact that they're doing something a bit like Game Pass. I'm actually surprised about that, to be honest.
It's funny to me because they were like, oh, no, we're not making a Game Pass competitor. And it's the same shit.
It's basically a Game Pass competitor without the day one stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they almost had
same stuff.
but the funny thing about it is they almost had the biggest day one free thing in their streaming service, or not streaming service, but you know what I'm saying, like their Game Pass equivalent, which was Stray. Like that was massive, and it got nominated Game of Year ridiculously.
I signed up for it just to play that bloody game, and I never finished it.
You didn't finish Stray? Oh, okay.
No,
it's such a short game.
As a self-proclaimed cat lover, I can't believe myself.
Bayonetta thing was crazy, but it didn't hurt Bayonetta sales as the best-selling Bayonetta 3, and I think, obviously, to me, the Microsoft one has to win. They're buying Activision Blizzard, and now it's kicking off this, like, multi-year lawsuit.
Yeah.
So-
When especially, like, even if you factored in just that first story, it'd be the biggest, but then it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
And then the
And,
10
like-
years of Call of Duty exclusivity, then they reject that. It's so
It is
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
I don't think anything, and we've got the little thing we can put in. So I think, Mike, you're happy with Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard?
Well,
Yep.
a bit of the
Lock it
context,
in.
Swinny. When we were talking about Bethesda, we were like, oh, Bethesda, that would be the biggest. That's almost the biggest story in the last 10 years. I mean,
That's
buying
weird.
Activision Blizzard, it's
Yeah,
like...
there, now it's gone.
Yeah, it takes a while to update, so you might need to put it in.
Yeah, let me do it. I'm a control freak. All right, Swinny.
All right, biggest small story of the year. So these are like more niche stories that go under the radar, ones that we love that maybe not everyone was talking about. So we had Bayonetta 3's, and actually, honorable mention, I just put in Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement just because I was just like, to me,
Did
that
you
was
control
just
it?
a cool thing. Yeah. No one else put honorable mentions, but I want to mention that. But the nominees for Big Small Story is Bayonetta 3's Naive Angel Mode. We had Duke Nukem Forever 2001 build leaks. We have Kanye pitching a game to Shigeru Miyamoto, even though that's older, like the kind of stuff that came out this year.
It was confirmed this year, I would say.
Yeah, Near Automata's Secret Door or Secret Church thing. That
was cool.
And I put in playing Doom in Doom, which was just a cool little thing that came out, and very niche story, that one. So
I love that. That's like, to me, the end game of people porting Doom. The fact that someone ported Doom into Doom is so insanely cool. I love that.
And last year's winner was the Kojima Blue Box Conspiracy. So
Yeah, which is so funny, right? Given that, like, what's come of that? Nothing still. I was going through my PlayStation 5 and I had Abandon, like, the game tile on there because I downloaded it. I'm like, that's so crazy that they... What the fuck is the story there? Seriously. But all of these are really cool. I've got one that I think should be the winner. But what do you guys think about these noms?
Funny.
Look, there's two that really speak out to me. Like, to me, it's either the Duke Nukem Forever build, because it also, like we had the actual people behind it reach out to us.
That's the thing that tips it over the line for me. It has to be that one.
But I do love the Near Automata.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yes. Yeah.
But
But Dick
look,
for me.
I give the Nier thing like huge credit, right? But the fact that it ends up being fake, it's sort of like, it's really cool. But if they had discovered something that's seriously secret, like I'd
like the secret code last year.
Yeah, exactly. Which is so crazy. Wasn't Nier Automata on this list last year as well?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that game's amazing. All right, let's put it as Duke Nukem Forever 2001
Lock
build
it in.
leaks. And the creators behind Duke reach out to us to clarify stuff in the comments, which is such a weird thing to think when we were kids.
Yes. So the next category is CDPR presents the biggest I am disappointed of the year. So this is our disappointment in a game or a developer or a publisher. Just not so much that they're the heel, like the villain, but just we're disappointed in them. So
We expect more.
yeah. Honorable mentions, Skull and Bones Just Won't Die. And I literally had that in there way before it got delayed again this week. I actually started this spreadsheet like 4 months ago, right?
Whoa.
I was bored. I'm like, I'm just going to get the template, right?
Yeah.
I put in Skull and Bones Just Won't Die 4 months ago, and it's been delayed again. So we also had GoldenEye's Piss Poor Ports, so we still don't know
Wait, they're
how
still
that's
not
all
out?
played out. Yeah, no. The Melbourne
So
Nintendo
crazy.
experience closing down. I'm assuming it's still closed. Not 100% on that, but And Square Enix Yuji Naka, the whole Balan Wonder world clusterfuck, and the fact that Yuji Naka's now been arrested for insider trading. So,
that's so
what
crazy,
a weird amount of shit going on there. But the actual nominees for biggest Iron Disappointment of the year is FromSoft's poor PC support from all the Dark Souls servers going down and not coming back for months. And the original
dude, but they're still off for some of the games, right? Like the original, the OG Dark Souls.
The OG Dark Souls isn't coming back.
Yeah,
so.
fucking hell, man.
And the Elden Ring performance is like for the biggest game of the year for for PC players to just be like shunted on that is a
that's true. And it's still bad for a lot of people. It's crazy.
Game delay, so Breath of the Wild 2, Starfield, and a lot of others, but they're kind of like two big headliners there. The MetaQuest Pro pricing, because I know we were looking forward to hearing more about it, and the pricing came out. Online abuse in video and gaming culture. So we had a big segment talking about Return to Monkey Island and God of War Ragnarok, and that's obviously always a thing, but it just really came to a front this year. And PS Plus's PS1 emulation, and the fact that I played through Ape Escape in 50 hertz, So,
to me, there's a few that so the MetaQuest Pro pricing is disappointing, but to be honest, expected. So I'm not that disappointed because I saw it coming.
Yeah, but I think that whole direction is just like, did you? Okay, so John Carmack left, who I love. I love John Carmack so much.
Just a month ago.
So he left Meta and wrote an internal email to everyone, like listing like his disappointments and things that they need to do better, and basically going like kind of having a go at Mark Zuckerberg in it, and it's quite crazy and it was an email to internal, right? And then it got leaked, so he just published the whole thing. He's like, they're just leaking excerpts, so here's the whole email.
Nice.
And like there was this big thing about like, the MetaQuest 2 is pretty much the direction that we need to go, so why are we doing anything else, or why are we trying to create the one and only metaverse? And I was like, wow, okay, this guy definitely can't stay there if he's thinking these kind of things. So no, I think it was super disappointing. I was like shocked at the direction they went, given how smart I think the MetaQuest 2 was. It feels like pushing into that and just having a MetaQuest 3 and focusing on that would have been the smartest way to go.
This is a tough one, Mike.
It is a tough one, but so again, game delays. Disappointed, but at the same time, how I always feel that it's good to let them brew as long as it takes until it actually gets finished properly. So I'm not as disappointed. I'd be more disappointed if they came out and they tanked, or they had too many bugs, which is probably going to happen with Starfield anyway when it comes out. Exactly. So looking at this list, the one that I think I am definitely the most disappointed at is, even though it didn't affect me personally because I played on different platforms, is FromSoft's poor PC support. I have a bunch of friends who game exclusively on PC. They're huge Souls fans. It affected them directly, and they hated that experience a lot. So definitely for me, that one.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo, and I like to watch like reaction videos on YouTube. And I remember watching a clip came up that was like reaction to this boss in Elden Ring, and so it was a compilation of all these people, and most of them playing on PC. And the hitches were in the exact same spot for every person, so it wasn't specific to their hardware.
No,
and that really, like, I'd completed the game at that point, and I'd had a seamless experience and everything. So it didn't affect me, but everything about the servers and everything, I think FromSoft is probably the thing that I'd choose here.
Okay, so game delays, I'd almost change that to like Xbox first party delays.
Well, that's a different thing. So.
Yeah, but you know where I'm coming from.
This is delays in general. We actually had something similar nominated last year for that. So,
maybe we should dust that off. That would have been mine. Like the fact that like basically it's just like another year, and Xbox has delivered not like any major first party games that like are really shaking things up. It's unbelievable that like that. I don't know. They're just not getting ripped into about that. I guess because Game Pass is just like. Kind of picking up the slack. But yeah, let's go with FromSoft, because I raised that heaps of times and I was always pissed off about it.
Cool. All right, next category, biggest face of the year. So essentially a person or a company to be celebrated. So our honorable mention, I just put in Luca Galante, one of the key developers behind Vampire Survivors, just for the support throughout the early access and stuff. and just the sense of humor that for anyone that hasn't like rolled credits on Vampires Otherwise, like it's very funny the stuff that's in that game and everything, and like lots of jokes about like Italian language and stuff because that he's Italian. So
well, can I just add to that? I didn't realize that. And I don't know, like if this person goes by a different name now.
Stephanie Sterling.
Yeah. That they wrote for the game.
Yep.
I was blown away by that. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
It's really funny what they wrote as well. So
okay.
But the actual nominees for biggest face of the year is Joe Jives beating Battletoads after we challenged him
and
the show.
videotaped his hands and everything doing it. Yeah.
The Chemco RPG tier list, just because it was like a really good video for the channel, was mine and I want to put it in.
I was like, what the fuck is this on this list?
We have Street Fighter 6's new control schemes, just because it's giving a range of options to players, including like accessibility stuff, and I think it's a really good step forward for fighting games. The analog FPGA community, you've talked about a lot about Intergot, just the amount of work that's going on there and opening up that stuff for to play a lot of stuff on the Analog Pocket and things like that. And I added in also videogameschronicle.com because with the show's regular episodes wrapping up, the amount of content we just took directly from VGC, I'm like, I got to actually give them credit somehow, so I'll put them in as a
Dude, I think if you want to get gaming news, that's like the only site you need to look at, genuinely. Yeah. And then it's like, if you have niche stuff, go on like the subreddits, right? But I think the combination of that, you got everything because they cover so much stuff, and it's always like, they're not too bad in terms of like leaks and stuff. Like I know we've spoken about this a few times on and off the show, but yeah, they're really good. I love them. I think this one is like super obvious what has to be the face of the year. Yeah,
of course. The RPG tier list. Oh, what? I thought it was the RPG tier list.
Joe Jives beating Battletoads was incredible. I laughed so hard. I actually watched back that because I was like watching my own reaction to it. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
For context, for weeks, we were doubting that he had beaten Battletoads as a kid in a one weekend. And we said
100% did not believe it. And you were like, I think you went from believing it to being on the fence.
I went back and forth. But basically, we put out a challenge if he can beat it to this day, and he did. He videotaped it. He did it like a speedrunner with splits and everything.
To be fair, I didn't really say to challenge it. I was just like, if he did beat it, I want to see it properly and all that kind of stuff. And he did do it all.
He took it as a challenge, clearly.
I know, that was awesome. It was so awesome. That was so freaking cool.
All right. So on the flip side, we have biggest heel of the year. So this is basically villain of the year, bad guy of the year. So honorable mention, Bobby Kotick and his golden parachute. If if the whole...
He's still getting paid. He's going to get paid now that there's lawsuits and stuff. He's going to get paid so much. It's awesome.
I actually had him in the list for ages, but there was just some others that I just kind of wanted to keep him. But I'm happy to even throw him back in. But the actual nominees were Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, investing in gaming. So we talked about what they're doing with that.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So you know how I manage all the socials and stuff? Someone started following us, right? And I'm like, who's this? So I look into it and it's like, dude, it's like someone from that country. I'm not even going to say the country's name.
MBS.
And dude, it was like, I went to see their Twitter feed and it was like very scary videos and all this shit. I'm like, man, we're getting targeted by this person. This is crazy.
The next nominee is I've put in as wait, did someone rename this? It's Jim Ryan. PlayStation head. And the thing is, I'm happy to even swap Kotick in for this, but he just seemed to do a lot of heelish shit this year. But
it's heel in the pure form of wrestling, which is like you kind of know what you're doing. You're playing the act. So him going around to all the regulators going, these bastards, they're making these games exclusive. And then on the side, signing a deal with Square Enix to extend the Final Fantasy VII Remake exclusivity. It's like, how can he keep a straight face when he's talking to these people? It's amazing.
And honestly, a lot of his name, there was stuff earlier in the year. I think it was more prevalent mid and earlier in the year and stuff. But yeah, Anyway, Game Awards Bill Clinton kid.
I don't know if I'd call him a villain. I feel like
he's a heel. It's not really villain, right?
Yeah. Atari selling NFT loot boxes, which we didn't really hear anything about, but it's still bad enough that I want to put him in. and 343 Industries handling of Halo, specifically Halo Infinite this year.
God, what a fuck up.
I'm tending towards just more from like a malpractice standpoint, probably 343 to be honest.
Yes,
I'm kind of leaning on that one as well. I'm sort of pissed off at Xbox in general, but yeah, let's go for 343. What a fuck up. I felt like, and if you look at it retrospectively as well, let's just say, Sweeney, I know it's a very high bar, but that's what you got to hear if you're putting billions of dollars into it. If Halo Infinite was anything like Halo 3 level of quality, right? It would have been a fucking mega hit because it was like the perfect timing because nothing really came out, like nothing really hit at that time as well. And I think a lot of people on Fortnite might have moved across to Halo if it was good enough. So
the thing is, when Halo Infinite launched, there was actually a lot of buzz and a lot of people were talking positive about it.
So much buzz.
Even knowing that obviously a lot of the stuff hadn't been delivered yet, but when they started like cancelling the local co-op and then the slow drip feed of content kept getting delayed, the fact that Forge wasn't available for ages, just mishandling. So
yeah, but I mean, there's a hey, here's a product. It's 90% there. We're gonna add these extra bits and pieces, polish them, whatever. I get that, but it just felt like it was a 50% job. And all this stuff was missing, and even the thing that was there was not what people expected it to be. That it was just massively disappointing in that sense. They really didn't handle it properly.
I know. I know that like this is like totally out of order, but going up to the biggest disappointment, maybe just as an honorable mention, we didn't have it's my fault. I didn't add this. The fucking DualSense Edge pricing. Now, DualSense Edge getting announced, awesome, right? I've been waiting for because I like DualShock, I like the sticks. I don't know, I just like it. I just like it like that, right? And DualSense Edge, I'm like, fuck, maybe I'll get like a fair income. And it's got like, you can replace the joysticks. And I'm like, that's so sick, really cool. Then they announced the pricing, 330 Australian dollars. So like 220 US dollars, 225 US dollars. It's so insane, the pricing. It's so insane.
Apparently has a slightly lower battery life as well.
It does have a lower battery life. They've already said that, yeah. Lower battery life, and the DualSense has a shittest fucking battery. Like, I plug it in every time. Like, with the Switch Pro Controller, it's more like, oh shit, I've got to charge this thing. It's like shock that I have to charge it. Fuck me. Like, what a disappointment. So, can I just put that as an honorable mention?
Yeah, feel free.
Cool. Let's go back to mic drop.
All right, so biggest marks are up of the year. So these are like announcements that took us most by surprise. So there's a lot of cool announcements this year, but
nothing earth-shattering. Nothing earth-shattering.
Yeah, but a lot of them were also expected. So that's not what this is about. It's things that we didn't expect. So, or at least in the fashion that they were, revealed. So there's a bunch of honorable mentions, but just for the sake of time, the nominees are Hades 2, Quantic Dream's Star Wars title, Return to Monkey Island, Tekken 8, and The Witcher 1 remake. Look, some of these were, like you'd expect Tekken 8, right? At some point.
Did you do honorable mentions?
Well, I'm trying to just.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Just get through it, but I mean, there's a bunch like Hyperlight Breaker. Like a follow up in some sort to Hyperlight Drifter. No one expected that. That's one of the honorable mentions. Yeah. Greedfall 2, I didn't expect that and stuff.
And Remnant 2, I didn't really expect that.
Yeah, Remnant 2. Like, I didn't want this to be more like too Swinny focused. So some of them
I would have been with you on that one. That actually is probably the number one thing I'm looking forward to. So
yeah. But look, to me, like all these pretty much surprised me, but to me, the one I did not expect at all was Ron Gilbert heading up Return to Monkey Island. That came out of absolute nowhere, and it was announced on April Fool's Day in the best fashion because he was like, saying that he was gonna. Basically, like, I can't remember the exact lead-up events, but just the way it was announced was great and a big surprise. But I'm happy to hear what you guys think.
Definitely that one for me because it was announced very late in development, I guess. So it didn't take that long until it actually came out, and then you got to play it and you got to actually enjoy it. So there was that anticipation, and then there was the reward straight away. None of this, hey, we're working on this thing that you may or may not see in 5 years freaking time if we ever complete it. So yeah, Return to Monkey Island. However, to be honest, Remnant 2 was probably the biggest one that
The
took
honorable
me by
mention.
surprise that I actually really am looking forward to.
If you look at my reaction at the Game Awards thing, like we watched the trailer, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm chatting to God. And then when they said it was Remnant 2, I was like, holy
Remnant
shit.
2,
Like,
Remnant 2.
because even
Such
though
a
it
good
looked
game.
like Remnant, I didn't in my mind even think of that because I'd never consider a sequel.
Why
so.
did you switch it for Tekken 8? Because I feel like Tekken
Okay.
8, you
Okay.
like, there's always going to be a
Yeah,
Tekken
let's
8.
do it.
Okay, well then
let's
I'll
do
go Remnant 2.
And then what are you going to go, Swinny? Because I was like, out of all of these, there's two. I think like Hades 2, just given that they've never made a sequel.
it. Yeah.
And it's like, Hades was awesome. I fucking love Hades, man.
And you got the prediction right for your prediction
Yeah,
for that as
yeah.
well.
How crazy was that? That was insane. So, and I like, Hades, that was nominated for Game of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, that's pretty massive. I don't know. I would say Hades 2 out of everything this year was. I don't think anyone was expecting that. That was like totally tight-lipped. I didn't even hear any rumors about that or anything.
I think given its status, and as you said, we didn't hear about it all, I mean, I'm happy to give it a Hades 2. Just because, again, it's like nobody knew that was coming at all. And nobody thought, like, we thought they'd make a different game.
Like a new
maybe
game, yeah.
similar.
Totally. Or DLC or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but not an entirely new sequel to Hades.
All right. What do you think, Mike?
To me, it's definitely Remnant. Take an 8 out, put Remnant in there.
Yeah, but no, for the win though. For the win.
He got the
For the win.
nomination. He got.
I'm gonna go like this.
Give it a Remnant 2.
Wait, what are you saying? You switching? Because you're the deciding vote now.
Swap it to
Swinny.
Remnant 2.
Swinny's the swing vote. So what are you saying?
Remnant
so
2.
right there.
Remnant 2. Are you actually saying that?
Yes.
Bastard.
We'll
You two
award
are
it to
too
both of
similar.
them.
You two are too similar. Yeah, let's fuck it. Let's fuck the rules. There we go. We're off the reservation, boys.
All right, the next category is biggest broken record.
I
of
resent
the
this.
year.
I feel like this is mostly about me, but
I actually tried to balance it a bit, but it was hard.
Yeah.
Biggest broken
it
record
was
of the year.
half-hearted.
It was a game or thing that we just talked on and on the most about on the podcast. So honorable mentions are The Witcher 3, Mike not being able to buy games,
that's
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, and the Analog Pocket. Now, Analog Pocket I removed because it was nominated
Yeah,
last year.
Oh, was it? Shit.
Yeah, but
with
this
that
doesn't
on
change
there,
the fact that he kept going on about it.
with that on there, it was so got heavy that I took it off. So the actual nominees are Amiibo,
Okay.
Elden Ring, Splatoon 3 (bracket plus Picross), Vampire Survivors, and Xbox Game Pass.
Now,
I know what I'm going to vote on.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Xbox Game Pass. Every
So am
fucking
I.
show you bang
So
on about
am
it.
I.
Hundreds of games.
But the thing
So
is, I
annoying.
had to keep talking about it
No,
for my
you didn't.
resolution.
You didn't.
No,
For my
I-
resolution.
You just play them. Don't tell us about it.
What?
I had to say it's.
No, I think the
anyway.
resolution said you were supposed to talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
I have-
Okay. I think you added
so.
that, Mike. I think you said, and you
That
have
That was,
to talk about
that was
it.
kind of like. Yeah, anyway.
No,
But
but
I'm
okay. Like, not to sound like a prick, and I'm not targeting you into God specifically, but I was interested in the Game Pass stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to maybe play that. I want to like, that's a cool
know where you're
game.
going
I
with
wasn't
this.
gonna
I
play
know
that
where you're
otherwise.
going with this. I
Wait,
love it.
seriously, fuck your amiibos, man.
You know what I'm
Balls
doing
are out.
tomorrow morning? Getting Amiibo. Getting 2 new Amiibo. Seriously.
I kid. I
let's
think
just wait for the
it's
next
a tough one.
category, Mike.
I don't
What
know.
are we saying? What are we saying?
It's amiibos for me.
Well, I think there was 2 votes for Game Pass.
I think it's
so-
got to be Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Like,
That was
yeah,
annoying.
talked
That
about
was
so
fucking
much.
annoying. All right. Now it's on to me. Okay, so
Yes.
my biggest Amiibo of the year. So I've got a question for you, boys. So there's 4
I'm swapping it
Amiibo.
back to Amiibo because you talked about it now.
Yeah. There's 4
Thank you.
Amiibo confirmed for next year. Who knows how many more they're going to be. In 2021, there was 20 Amiibos released. 2020, there was 4. In 2019, there was 20. How many Amiibos were released this year? And I mean new Amiibos, brand new ones. Given how much I talked about it, have a guess.
Can you do multiple
10?
choice?
Mike?
The correct answer is who gives a fuck.
Swinny was really close.
I reckon 15.
9. So
Oh,
Swinny was
okay.
super close. All right, so I have nominated these 3 Amiibo. So honorable mention to my boy here. Or like this is almost the gun that I use. This is like in the same category. So this is like the 92 gal.
That's
and I
a
have
pretty
50
well
gal.
detailed amiibo, actually.
Oh, they're amazing now, dude. They've gone like through the roof. So these are the 3, just so you can visually see them.
5?
Oh, sorry, 5. What did I say? 3.
I'm very confused right now.
Sorry. So Small Fry, Steve. Then we've got the Kaliko and Mizuna. And then we've got Min Min. So I, of course, also have all of these amiibo
Of course you do.
at hand.
All right, I really am changing my vote now.
I've
Thank
prepared
you.
it for the
Record.
prepared it for the show. So hey, I had to collect all of these. They were everywhere in my room. So give me some credit for the effort here, people.
Which one would I like
Now-
the Kaliko one.
Now, I think that like when you
that's pretty
actually
cool too.
like see them in person versus like seeing them as pictures, it's I'm judging it based on seeing it in person, right?
Yeah. Can I? If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the dragon one. That looks sick.
My vote is, and well, it's the only vote that matters because I'm deciding it. Of
course.
And I should say before I get onto this exciting category and concluding it, honorable mentions. I forgot. This is really the year of the re-release. It was amazing this year. Although there was only 9 new ones released, we had a re-release of the Animal Crossing binders and cards, which is awesome. Fire Emblem.
Don't worry, Mike. It's nearly over. It's all
For the year,
nearly over.
yeah, exactly. And then Splatoon re-releases. So it was awesome for people who are collecting amiibo. They could collect so many of the ones that they missed out on. But yes, I did give the winner to Melzino. The very cool
that's a
dragon.
Cool one. Even looking at it through here, it's pretty cool.
It looks freaking awesome. It looks
Yeah.
really, really cool.
That's
Actually,
from Pokemon, right?
You're an idiot. There we go. I got it even bigger so you guys can see it. It looks very cool. It looks very cool. All right, the amiibo's done for the year.
Nice. All right, Mike.
Cool. So Mike's biggest Souls-inspired Souls-like Metrovania of the year. Now,
The
it
third
wasn't
time, the third annual.
Oh, this
Because-
is third. Wow.
every year. I love this shit. Now, it wasn't a bad game for it. It wasn't maybe the best year for it, but it was a pretty decent year. Now, I don't include stuff like Elden Ring in this. I think it's a little too obvious. So the
Is that a
nominees are
Metroidvania, though?
well, it kind of. You could
Fuck off. It's a
say,
Metroidvania, you
sort of.
idiot.
It's not really a Metroidvania.
It's not a
but-
Metroidvania at all.
Well, no, but
I think the key word is the Metrovania part of the Souls-inspired Souls-like Metrovania.
Yeah, but I
think
mean, like-
that is the key part.
there are certain things that you can only do once you get certain other things. I'm like,
in what? In Elden Ring?
yeah.
Barely. Nah, it's not a fucking
Like the s-
Metroidvania, man.
The
No
seals,
fucking
do
way.
they count? No.
If someone's
I
listed
guess
Elden
not,
Ring
'cause you
as
don't
a
have a-
Metroidvania, they're an idiot.
The horse. You can't do certain things without the horse. Oh, you probably can.
It's not a horse, but
I know it's not a horse, but whatever. People call it a horse. Anyway, so the games are Ghost Song, Infernax, Moon Scars, Sultan Sanctuary, and Tunic. Now, I must admit, Moon Scars I haven't played as much as the rest. So it's a nominee, but definitely not one that I would go for. So I'll probably just jump straight to the point, which is that Tunic is absolutely
really?
yeah,
Wow.
totally.
A
So
more non-traditional pick. That's interesting.
So Ghost Song, love Ghost Song. Really enjoyed Ghost Song. I love the music in it and everything. And Infernax was fantastic. Although that kind of goes back because I think that was earlier in the year that it came out. Quite early, actually, because it feels like such a long time that I played it. Again, Moon Scars didn't really click with me. I was a little disappointed at it. I can't tell you exactly why. Sultan Sanctuary was fantastic, but it felt a bit much the same as Sultan Sanctuary. Salt and Sacrifice that should have been, not Sultan Sanctuary. And Tunic, of course, freaking fantastic game. I love it to bits. Such a cool game.
There you go.
All right, so for my special category, it's Swinny's biggest Game Pass edition of the year. So you asked me before about what game was felt like
Yeah, you
game
shut
I
me
would
down.
play, blah blah. Well, because the whole thing with this, it's like rather than it being the best game I played that was added to Game Pass or my favorite, it's kind of like what felt like the best fit for the service and kind of surprised me at the same time. So some honorable mentions, so Tunic and Death's Door, both hold a similar kind of place to me, like amazing games, but and the great value for being the service. Aiden Chronicle Rising, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge, and As Dusk Falls, all games that just kind of just felt like a good fit for the service. But the actual nominees are Immortality, Pentiment, Power Wash Simulator, Return to Monkey Island, and Tinykin.
Can I guess what you're gonna have? What you're gonna pick?
Well, it might spoil it for my reveal of what the winner is, but go ahead, go ahead.
No.
I went back and forth on this, but to me, the best addition to Game Pass is Power Wash Simulator.
I knew it. I called it.
I was going to say
whispered it.
Tinykin. I was going to say Tinykin.
Because I never ever expected. I've seen streamers play it when it was in early access, but I never. It's to me the perfect Game Pass game because it's also multiplayer. It's just a great fit for that service.
Cool to chill, listen to a podcast.
And I played it tons, and I never ever would have played it if
you wouldn't have never bought that game. That's for sure.
No,
I still find it ridiculous the enjoyment we get out of these stupid games. Like I played Lawn Mowing Simulator a whole bit. What the F? Like, what the F? You should see my lawn outside. I haven't mowed it for like 2 months. But I can't play that piece of shit. It's ridiculous.
All right, Intergot.
Oh, yes, my game of the year. So I had all joke categories here, and then Swinny didn't pick up on the joke. Terrible.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You haven't even put
Splatoon 3 in your list?
What?
We were talking about it. We're like, wait a minute.
And I had Portal Companion Collection. Come on, dude. That's the biggest red flag.
To be honest, I didn't notice that one. Okay. I noticed the other one.
That's bad. That's bad. So, yeah, look, like, I'd say the only one that is... It was more just like the year was interesting. Like, I played a lot of games. I think... I don't know, Last of Us, don't even know if I really would be able to put Last of Us Part 1, even if I beat that game, on this list. I don't feel like it's fair to do that, even though it's a re-release or remake. Xenoblade Chronicles, I think, would definitely be on this list if I played it more. Because I loved what I played of it. It just kind of got lost in the year. Same as Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hopes. So where do I land? I think, to me... Like, I love Kirby, and I didn't mind Horizon, but it'd be definitely between Elden Ring, Splatoon 3, and Tunic. Tunic, loved it, but I have to admit, now that I've beaten it a long time ago, it's not like something I look back on and go, oh my god, that's like the best game ever. And I wonder what I'd think of it in like 3 years' time. I don't know, it's tough, but I feel like I got to go with Splatoon 3. I love that game so much, man. Like, I actually was thinking about going back to Elden Ring and playing it more, and I think I will. I was a bit pissed because they actually updated the game again and nerfed pretty much everything. Like, that was, like, cheesy. So, like, all my cheesy strategies will go away. I never really got to play it cheesy, so...
Well, you gave yourself, like, a debuff by, like, using, like...
That
a bad weapon on the last boss, and you was too stubborn to change it. So I think you're fine. But...
Yeah, I will go back to it. I'm actually thinking stupidly of playing it, the PS4 version on PS5, because then effectively it's a brand new profile and it runs like super solid 60. So I'll probably do that actually. Mike?
Yeah, so my biggest game of 2022, the nominees are Elden Ring, Ghost Song, High on Life, Tinykin, and Tunic. Obviously, I nominated and Tunic won in the previous category. Tinykin, I love to bits. It's one of I think the few games in recent memory that I completed 100% just because I was really engrossed in it. High on Life, absolutely loved it too. Ghost Song, spoken about it. But I'd be kidding if I didn't say that Elden Ring is definitely the game of the year for me.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd go for Elden Ring.
Well, I was like, yeah, you know what? I can go for one of it. Nah, let's be honest. It's the game I was looking forward to the most. I enjoyed it, put so many hours into it. Got bored of it eventually, to be honest, because I think I overplayed it.
After 120 hours or whatever?
Some shit like that, yeah. It definitely overstayed its welcome, but that wasn't the game's fault. It was my fault.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, awesome game.
All right, so my biggest game of 2022. So my honorable mentions were Vampire Survivors, Tinykin, Immortality, and Still Rising. My actual nominees are Elden Ring, Elix 2, Nobody Saves the World, Norco, and Rise of Third Power. So Nobody Saves the World is probably the one that I kept swapping back in and out with other games the most. So I loved it. It's not going to win my biggest game of the year. Elix 2... I had such a blast with that game. It's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely a B game, but I really, really liked it. It does fall off at the end, unfortunately, like they ran out of time or ideas. Norco, absolutely just such a cool experience. Really, really cool mix of gameplay, point and click plus some action sequence plus puzzle. Really weird, really well written. Looks amazing. Great, amazing music. In another year, Norco would probably take it. Rise of the Third Power is obviously the least well-known game on this, but it is another really cool game by Stego Soft, really throwback 16-bit style RPG. At some point, that was going to be my game of the year. I loved it that much. It is really, really great. More people need to play it. But I have to go for Elden Ring. I cannot move past that game in my head as well. It's like I still think about that game all the time. Like, it's still, like, I'm still watching videos about it and everything. So
maybe we should talk about it in a little bit, because I'd imagine that we might be talking about it again.
I think so.
Yeah. Do you want to go to number 14? Sorry.
Yeah. So the next category is biggest game none of us played of the year. So I think I'm happy to swap one of these out, but I
did already swap one of them out.
No, I saw that, but then I saw the subtitle, which is like the best game that none of us played, like what we think would be the best game.
Like
and I don't know if we would think of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 as that.
No.
So, but it is obviously one of the biggest releases.
Probably should put Ragnarok there then.
But no, you guys played Ragnarok.
Oh, none of us have played. Oh, okay.
I haven't.
I've played.
Yeah. It's like none of us have played any of these games, from my understanding. So
maybe Rogue Legacy 2 over Call of Duty.
Yeah. So Rogue Legacy 2, Dwarf Fortress, the re-released new version of it, Multiverses. Like, I'm assuming you didn't play really any of it, Intergot.
No, because it had the WB thing. So I was like, fuck this.
Neon White and Cult of the Lamb. I don't know, Mike, if you ended up playing any of that.
No, I haven't. And it's
okay.
I'll tell you right off the bat, it's the one out of all
Oh,
of these
I think so too. I
wish I played, yeah.
I actually think we'd all like Cult of the Lamb, and it's an Australian dev. It's like I've actually listened to like a 1 hour and 30-minute podcast from the guy who made it. Right? Wow. So it's like, I don't know. I got to play it. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't know why I haven't, honestly.
Yep. Cult of the Lamb it is.
Cult of the Lamb.
So
I love that category, actually.
The next category is kind of like I had to wait till you guys kind of put your stuff in. It's just basically any game that didn't get an official nomination. We just want to it's almost like a runner-up of the whole awards. So biggest Don't Forget Me games. So games that didn't get a nom but are worth giving a shout out. So Still Rising, Last of Us Part 1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Vampire Survivors, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So some honorable mentions: Gran Turismo 7. I know, Mike, you had a very love-hate relationship with that. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and Stray. So none of
Stray.
None of these
I feel like
games.
that's this is the games I want to forget.
Hey, you didn't mind Stray. You
I
grown
just
to
think
hate it.
people. I
hate
don't.
it.
To be honest, it's a fine game. It's like a C or a B or whatever, right? It's just the fact that it got nominated for Game of the Year. It fucking pisses me off to no end.
Well, how about this? It's an honorable mention of the Don't Forget Me games. So it's double don't.
Good. Yeah, true, I guess so. Yeah.
Look, we don't even have to pick a winner. It's up to you guys if you want to pick a winner. We picked Halo Infinite last year, so that's had a journey. That game's had a journey.
That's awesome.
So I haven't really played any of these, so it's hard for me to go, don't forget them. Give them a shot.
I feel like
Vampire
Survivors, but I thought that did get a nomination. I thought
no, it was
an
honorable mention.
Oh no, it was here in the Broken Record.
Oh shit!
I mean, by the way, I played Vampire Survivors.
Okay, all right.
We have
Put
to get
that
rid
in.
of it.
Swap that for what do you want? Stray. What do you want? Gran Turismo 7.
I like to put Stray for myself so I can bloody remember to.
All right, Stray it is. Stray it is. All right.
Okay. Damn, that Stray is fucking moving up the charts. I should have been harder.
To me, it's Stray. In fact, fuck
off.
Game of the Year. Put Stray on.
I'll say Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think that's like I only played a bit of it and I was like really into it.
Okay.
So
I'd go with Turtles, but
yeah, Turtles. I can go for Turtles. Let's go for Turtles.
Yeah,
I can
go
for
for
Turtles. Like your argument was like, yeah, Turtles. I'm like, yeah, Turtles.
All right. Well, that was the penultimate. This is the big one. So, Big Weekend Gaming's Game of the Year. Fuck the Game Awards. This is where it's at. So, some honorable mentions. They are kind of like picked from some of our other lists and things maybe that, you know, are big ones. But Elix 2, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Pentiment, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Obviously, a lot of the games that we had in the other categories are not going to be nominated. But the 6 nominees: Elden Ring, High on Life, Norco, Splatoon 3, Tunic, and Tunic. All right. I think I don't know about you guys. To me, this feels easier than last year. Like last year, I actually listened back to last year, and man, we struggled last year. We got to Ender Lilies eventually, but we struggled.
On the list,
we struggled.
We went on for like 20 minutes, didn't we? Remembering?
Yeah, to me, it's a pretty much easier. It's an obvious one. However, whilst looking at all this and digesting things, Tinykin keeps coming into my bloody mind because I enjoyed that game so damn much.
You didn't even vote for it in your own thing, right?
I know. So I can't rightfully vote for it here. But all I can say is, please go play that game. It's freaking awesome. I loved it more than many games in recent memory.
But
I wouldn't give it maybe Game of the Year.
I was so surprised by Tinykin. The reason why I put it in this draft 6 and then you guys kind of like, I guess approved it was because I was looking at games that I know that like more than one person really, really had a fun time with. And that kind of fit the bill. Both Mike and I really, really love Tinykin. To me, it's a great continuation of 3D platform, but with some new elements and some that, kind of influenced by others. Amazing looking game, really fun, not too long. They've added free updates to it. I don't think it's Game of the Year, but Tinykin, I feel, is a worthy nomination.
Yeah. So I didn't play Tinykin or Norco, and I didn't like High on Life. But
I think narrows it down to Tunic and Elden Ring.
Tunic was really
and Splatoon
good.
3.
But like, I don't know. Let's be real. I feel like are we just delaying this? Are we?
Don't beat around the bush, man.
There's hardly any foreplay here, but
let's just
we're wet and ready to go.
The Elden bush.
We're wet and ready to go.
We don't need to spend too long.
Wet and ready to go. Come on.
Let's just make some of these get their due, but we don't need to spend too long on it.
Cool.
Norco, I'll just cross this one off. Amazing. It's kind of like my addition to this list of the game. I'm the one that played through all of it, and it's like. To me, that is the best written game of the year. And I think, fantastic. Not the Game of the Year, though.
Yeah.
Tunic, I think, again, amazing game. Had a blast with it. I wish it's the kind of game that I wish I was earlier in life or there wasn't as much out there so you could really focus on this game properly and really figure out some of the secrets because there's so many cool things to still do. And treasure hunts to undertake that it deserves more praise than it actually got. And it got quite a bit of praise. I just think it didn't probably get enough praise for what it does.
Without spoiling anything, one of the biggest secrets of that game is pretty mind-blowing when you kind of like see how it all comes together. And
I'm wondering what you're talking about.
I will say that I love Tunic, but I absolutely abhorred the combat in it. I was kind of like ready to throw down if someone wanted to say Tunic was Game of the Year because everything else about it is so like music and everything and gameplay. But I ended up just turning on the God mode in it. I got so pissed off at the combat.
Wow.
I hated the combat.
To do that at the very, very end for the
I hated
final
it.
boss.
I think I'm the God gamer here. I beat it without cheating or anything.
No, it was frustrating to me. It wasn't. I don't know how difficult it did or didn't get because I was playing through Invincibility, but I just wanted to see the cool. I reckon that game to me would be better if there was no combat in it at all, and they just focused on the puzzles. In my opinion. But the puzzles are great. That's the thing. Everything else about it's really cool.
Well, yeah, and when you say the puzzles, like it's kind of like it is puzzles in the Jonathan Blow, guy behind the witness and Braid type of puzzle, which is like I feel like we probably should be really clear about that because like video game puzzles are pretty basic. It's like the God of War Ragnarok. Atreus is already telling you the solution within 2 seconds, and then you put the game away because you're like, are you fucking serious? But this is like riddles almost, this is really getting you think laterally as well.
It's very like, riddly.
The game systems, and without giving much away, but the stuff that happens in the game and what you discover is like, oh shit, wait, could I have done that right at the start of the game? Oh yeah, I could have. Like, what the fuck? Like,
what about
yeah. But can I just say, sorry, Mike? Look, I think a lot of games are suffering from this now, I've noticed, which is very weird because it's super important to get right. But the first hour of Tunic is like the worst part of Tunic.
Yes.
And it's like too many games are doing that. Like it's the actual opposite of like 80s and 90s game design, where the first hour was always the best almost. Because it's like, you know, they just refine the shit out of that, right?
It's a bit tough.
Yeah, it's just, it's too punishing. It's too, like, I don't know. It asks too much from you. And it's lucky that people gave it time to, you know, show how good it is. But that's why I understand why people don't like it. I think that's mostly the problem with the game.
I think it's just a shame that... Sorry, go Swinny.
No, I was going to say, I wish it played more like Zelda and not Dark Souls. Like, I wish it actually played more like Zelda.
Yeah, like, and I don't, you know, I'm not, like, I love Dark Souls so much, as we know from, like, you know, we did our favorite games of all time. Yeah, but that game, and I still don't really, like, in my opinion, and we're going to go into this game soon, but Elden Ring doesn't sort of give you that balance of risk and reward as well as Dark Souls did, right? Like, Dark Souls genuinely felt like so many times I'm like, shit, am I going to do this or that? And it's like, you know, it's on me and it's my failure. It's my fault, you know, if I choose the right thing, and it's genuine risk and reward, right? With the stuff with Tunic, I just didn't think it was like, it didn't really add to the game to me. So I'm sort of on the same page as you, Swinny. It's like, if someone changed Tunic and made it more like Zelda in terms of combat, a lot easier and stuff like that, I don't think I would say it's a worse game. So, by definition, they probably should do that. Do you know what I mean? Because they didn't add to it being
to the
difficult.
Extent that you play with God mode, because then I think it just
I don't want to play God mode, but something like Zelda, where it's like you're not expecting to die.
Yeah, and for me, I wanted to experience the rest of the game, but I just like, so that's why it's almost like I switched off that part of the game, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. But credit where it's due, right? The fact they added that as a thing. They could have just left it out and gone, too bad, so sad. If you're not a good gamer, you're not going to be able to experience the end of the game. But they actually added that feature, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. It's a really interesting point, Swinny. You know what? I think if they made a Tunic 2, because, like, this is all, like, you know how Shigeru Miyamoto would spend, like, hundreds of hours fine-tuning the mechanics. Like, the little micro details of, like, how long should the jump lag last and all. I don't feel like this game, and, you know, the developers might find this very offensive because maybe they have done this, but I get what you're saying, Swinny. Like, because I felt like I had to learn its combat, like, you know, and it wasn't natural, right? And then I got it in my head and I could play it. But I reckon if I picked it up now, even though I've beaten that game completely, it's like I probably couldn't get back into it straight away, you know?
If we were ranking this, I could see Tunic as like a top 3.
I'd say it's top 2 for like as a podcast thing. I think it's the second best. I think it's a runner-up for me.
To me, it's probably the runner-up as well, yeah.
But the winner?
Well, you don't want to mention about Splatoon 3?
Oh, I've said all about it. I'm the only one's playing it. Look, like...
You're not going to push that for number 1?
Well, I already made it my number 1 game. Look, Splatoon 3...
You could convince us.
No, I can't. But so all I'd say about Splatoon 3 is, like, I wasn't super hyped about it. I wasn't like Tears of the Kingdom hyped. Like, I'm super hyped. I've got a countdown on my wallpaper. You know how I've got those dynamic wallpapers? It's counting down the days until it comes out. 120 days until that game comes out. I'm taking the day off work, Mike style. I'm really looking forward to it. Fuck that game. I'm looking forward to so much, man. But yeah, Splatoon 3. So I'm like, Splatoon 3 was awesome. What could it do that's so different? Man, they just refined the hell out of the package. There's hardly anything in that game that I would change. They finally fixed the whole party system. Works so much better. You can actually play with friends without having exactly four friends to play with. And they keep on updating it. Like I didn't want to mention it because I know you guys get annoyed when I talk, but with the Splatfest, I've mentioned this before, but they've got this like I was going to say 3-way Splatfest, but all 3 teams could fight against each other on one map, right? Now I was complaining because last Splatfest I only got to play it twice, and I every time selected that mode. This Splatfest, every single time I selected the mode, I got to play that mode, and I love that mode, and it's only available one day when they have the Splatfest. So, which is fine because I love it's exclusive, right? Maybe I'll get sick of it if I played it all the time. So, no, like, and I even started playing the card game and getting into that a bit. So, yeah, Splatoon 3 is awesome. Definitely gonna go on the DLC day 1 when it comes out, whenever that is. Highly recommend it. when I was saying about the holiday and they were watching me play Splatoon 3, I think they were going to go buy it. And it did make me think, shit, if Splatoon 3 had 4-player local co-op, that would be fucking so cool.
Man, that would have been cool. Yeah.
That would be so cool.
If I wasn't such a compulsive single player in RPGs and stuff, I could see myself playing a lot of Splatoon 3. It's really cool.
It's such a cool, people, I feel like if you did a Fortnite over it, people don't like it because of the whole cartoony element and the very stylized nature of it. It turns a lot of people off it. But I think the core mechanic it has is really unique and very clever. Super Nintendo clever. So yeah, no, it's a fucking cool game. It's game of the year for me, so.
I mean, cool story, but it's not game of the year for us.
But yeah, the game of the year for the show, Swinny.
The inevitable, I think we've got to give it to Elden Ring. Yeah. Probably the easiest decision, I think, of any award we've probably ever done on the show.
Can't argue with it.
Can't argue with reasonable.
No, can't argue with a game that we did a 3-hour plus review on.
Can't believe Ragnarok almost won Game of the Year over this game. It's fucking unbelievable. It's disgusting.
As I said, I'm just waiting for the DLC. I'm waiting for a really good excuse to get back into that.
Yeah, that's right. The DLC. There's going to be a DLC for it, right? Haven't they leaked? I don't like to follow the leaks at all, but
not really. So the only thing that got leaked was the existence of the PvP arena that's been added in an update now. So,
but could it be single player DLC?
It would be single player. Yeah.
Really? Wow, that'd be so cool. There's so much of the game I haven't played actually, so I guess it's single player DLC for me.
The only of the Souls-born from software games that didn't get DLC was Sekiro. That got free updates like a boss rush mode and stuff. All the other games have gotten DLC, and look, it's going to print money for them. So, but yeah. Wow, so I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about Elden Ring.
I want to talk about Elden Ring more, but right. No, I do.
Yeah, go.
Well, I don't want to talk from a bad point. The thing is, when that game was coming out, the amount of hype, I was hyped about it after playing Dark Souls. I was like, damn, this is going to be cool. Because it's the first From game that I've been knowing of, looking forward to. And it, what a task it had to try to achieve. Do a Dark Souls, but open world, right? And with a small studio for that kind of endeavor. And they fucking knocked it out of the park, with ease, creating a game that's it definitely is up there with something like a Dark Souls. I think it just has too many flaws to tip it over that end. But man, what a fucking cool game. Loved it.
I've been waiting for the Game Awards website that tallies all the Game Awards for the year to be updated because every single bloody website was pretty much saying it. It's kind of wild how widespread the Game of the Year for Elden Ring's been.
Well, Press Start, the Aussie one, it's pretty much the biggest Aussie gaming site. They went for Ragnarok.
I'm trying to see.
I mean, hey, we haven't fully played it, so we don't know.
There's
how good
no
it really
way
is,
in my
I don't
mind
see how
Ragnarok could
if
ever.
It's similar to God of War.
It is. I played it.
Then I'm like, nah.
It's impossible.
Hey, different people are into different things, so.
I just can't understand it. And, the thing about Elden Ring, man, even the music, the intro music when you're about to press start, damn, that music, it's that shit, it's in my head. I love that shit. Fuck, that game's so cool. I love it.
So, apparently more than, who knows where they've tallied this, but more than 140 Game of the Year awards Elden Ring's gotten so far. So.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Have you, you guys, wait, have either of you played Demon Souls Remastered?
Yeah,
I've played the remaster. Okay. I haven't played a lot of the remaster, but I've played some of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish Elden Ring looked like that.
Same. But I just envy the fact that, man, I wish I had a game like that I could experience fresh. Because I'm sitting here thinking, do I want to get back into Elden Ring? No, but a game of that type, if that makes sense. Another Souls games of that quality.
Have you played Neo?
Yes, probably Neo 2 is maybe.
Have you played Neo 2?
There's a new... No, Neo 2 is probably the... No, but
there you go, done.
I couldn't really get into the original Neo as much. It just didn't feel the same to me. And there's a new one coming out on Xbox. I forget the name of.
Fallen Dynasty, Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Yeah, and I saw gameplay footage.
But you can't buy any games, so you're shit out of luck.
It's a Game Pass, so...
Is Wolong going to be Game Pass?
Wolong's Game Pass, yeah. So it's made by... Not sure if
Team
the
Ninja,
exact.
I think.
Yeah, it's Team Ninja, but I don't know if the
Yeah.
exact Neo team or not.
All
But,
the best things at Game Pass are all the things that Microsoft don't own. It's amazing.
Pretty much.
But
Yeah.
I wish
All
we had
right,
a
well,
category. We
Elden
should have had
Ring.
a category about 2023.
you know, I almost considered saying let's have a game of the year category that doesn't include Elden Ring. And make it Elden Ring presents game.
Well, I think it's
we
Tunic.
kind
I
of said
think
that
it's
maybe
Tunic.
Tunic. Yeah, to me it's Tunic.
Can I color this? Like, is there a way to make this like gray, like a filter or some shit?
What are you doing? I don't
Can
know.
you add a
Well, I
semi-transparent
gotta be careful.
PNG
I'm gonna
on
like
top?
end up fucking like doxing myself here. I was gonna try to, you know how sometimes you can do image filters on these kind of images, and make that gray. I want to make that gray to make it second, so it's second.
Oh, okay. I
Or we
didn't know
can
where
just
you're
move
going
to the
with
next segment.
So
but-
Yeah.
second, there you go. Look at that.
Oh,
You go.
nice.
Done.
All right, so that was big. So
That was
what we're
big.
going to do?
That's
Well,
what she said.
that's what I hear all the time.
We are going to our last special feature is basically us giving some things to each other. Some
Oh
gifts
yeah,
that
cool.
We,
Yeah, I forgot about
we
this.
our Big Kringle and Indigot, the amazing dude that he's actually sent the physical present.
He did.
this year.
Mike did it the other year,
And I did it last year as well, but I did. It's like if I'd kind of known the timeline of how things are going to play out, I definitely would have done what you did. So unfortunately, I had to go for digital gifts. But
Same.
I've got the box here. So I don't know who. I don't know if there's an order to this stuff. We haven't really. It's not something you plan.
Why don't you open the boxes because it's boxes, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna open,
I'll open the box.
I've put
First
your
of all,
names as big as possible
on
so it's
every
legible
freaking side of the box.
on the camera.
Not just the name,
Joke's
but the
on you.
address as well.
I don't need to hold it up to be able to open it.
That was so
Ditto.
funny. That was. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to draw attention to it. But that was really funny.
What's this on top? Oh, a card.
On top, that's what she
Holy effing shit! This is sick. I'm allowed to open
said.
it and talk about
Sure,
it, right?
yeah.
Okay, what do I open first?
Whatever,
I will
just open it.
The card first, which again, it's got a certain someone's address on the back, so I have to
Yeah,
open
don't
it
show
carefully.
don't show the card. That's right.
Is this the infamous photo that I should
Yeah.
be looking at?
This has been photoshopped.
You did a good job, man. You did
Dude,
a
that's,
really good
guess
job.
how many photos that's composited from?
I don't
9.
know. 9
What?
photos made into this one photo.
Can you tell?
No.
I know. I did it. And then I looked back. I'm like, I don't know how I did
How?
this. This is like insane level of photoshopping.
That is really good photoshopping, dude. Holy moly.
Like every single person is photoshopped in that photo.
Trying to,
Like, and
Wow.
the dogs
Not
as
just
well,
the
individually.
the dogs as well,
Individually,
wow.
the dogs as well.
Damn, dude, this is sick.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you so much. Yeah, this is awesome.
This is going on the fridge next to the Christmas photo that Mike gave me
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
last Christmas that I kept up the entire year
Wow.
so that it became the next Christmas on my fridge. And it's still there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love
Alright.
the bit about and spludge and whatever strays you have,
All right.
which is kind of true,
Oh,
actually.
it's awesome. And
Yeah, I think
potty.
it's kind of like themed.
Get a potty.
themed to
I
the
got
show.
a potty too. Oh, dude, this is so cool.
They're custom. They're not just pre-made.
I'm not going to be able to match up with any of this with digital presents, that's for sure. But, oh, that's awesome. Oh, double-sided as well.
I tried to get the ones that would suit your
The proper good
personalities.
official. Yeah, thank you.
He's like an angry face and you're like a smiley pink face.
No, but it's like,
No, I knew that. I knew
it's
that.
like I have,
Dual personality.
yeah.
The duality
That's
of man.
awesome.
Oh my god. And
Well, what is this, man?
keep this away.
What the hell?
The most amazing
how-
thing that I'm saving
This
for
didn't turn
last.
out. This didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to.
How? I
No,
don't,
dude, this turned out really cool.
I don't even know how. It's a printed. Is it a hoodie?
Yeah, it's a hoodie.
It is a hoodie.
Printed hoodie with the amazing artwork.
You're very optimistic. I'm only an Excel.
I don't know. I was like punting here.
No, no.
But you
This is
yo-yo
awesome.
a lot more than
Dude,
anyone,
this
so
is sick.
And the welcome on there.
yeah, I think
Oh,
it's synonymous
man,
with the
that's-
show. I didn't want to
good.
put the show anything on there, so you could actually wear it whenever, so it doesn't really
No.
matter.
Oh, dude. Thank you.
That's
This
all right.
is
That's all right.
amazing for people watching. Thank you so much. This is so cool.
Yeah, and
dude.
thank you for going to hassle to like mailing
feel so
anything.
bad now for
Mailing
the shit that I
anything around
got.
Christmas time is such a hassle. So thank you.
The thing that threw me off, and including, okay, so I bought this Christmas tree from Costco, and it was like fucking expensive tree, by the way, a massive tree, and it had like integrated LEDs and everything. So I set the whole fucking thing up. It took forever, and then I switched it on, and it didn't turn on. I was like,
no.
oh, fuck me. This whole Christmas felt like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Like, I was Clark Griswold. Anyway, so then I did a multimeter, tested it. It was faulty. Anyway, I went to go to return it. I bought this the like second day of December. I went to return it, and then I swear I had COVID that week. So I was like out of action. Then had the holiday, then came back. I returned it today, 6 weeks later. And I was saying to my wife, I'm like, this is going to look bad. It looks like I bought this tree, packaged it back together, and returned it after Christmas. And hey, I give them credit, man. Costco,
they're pretty
just,
good, aren't they?
They just fucking like just accepted it. It was like, I was like, what's the problem with it? I'm like, oh, it's faulty. Like the lights don't work. And they're like, okay, and let me just, and then that was it. It was a lot of money as well. I was like, wow, that's incredible. And I bought more stuff from Costco, so maybe that's their business
Loyalty,
model.
right?
Yeah,
That's probably
exactly.
their business model. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is awesome. I'd wear
This
this.
is one of the coolest things I've
I'd wear
ever
this
received,
hoodie
by
if it
the
wasn't
way.
so
No
goddamn
joke.
hot in this room.
Yeah, the hoodie's like probably bad time for this year. Maybe I should have a tank top. Have a tank top of it.
No, but this is no joke. One of the coolest things I've ever received in my entire life. So
No, it is amazing.
Thank
It is
you.
really amazing. I feel bad that I haven't got anything.
This is all hateful
Same.
energy because Mike did such a crazy job last year, and I said,
I
if you go
know.
back to
I
the
don't
show,
think it's
I
that
said I'm
good,
going to
but,
outdo you next year.
damn it! And then I got all fucking lazy this year.
Which is very Mike style, by the way.
Look, I've got a mine. Now, mine's a bit weird.
yeah.
Again, they're digital presents, but it's like when we did digital presents 2 years ago. Honestly, it was a bit of a pain in the ass. You guys know about the whole like digital games and stuff, and plus, you guys have so many games in your libraries that you know.
I've got
you're getting
1,100 now.
through. And I had an idea. But I had to change it somewhat because unfortunately it just didn't work out. But I've got a tab that I've just shown called Swinny BK. That if you can bring it up on the screen. Don't touch anything in there.
We
yet.
should say that Mike did Mike send you something, Swinny?
Well, I was gonna get to Mike after this because I
okay.
thought that he'd sent something to you already. But
Yeah, he sent me something.
yeah.
Which is
But,
super lame, and I'm so embarrassed now.
No,
don't be embarrassed.
Mine, look, you'll see. Mine
Okay.
is not that much better. But
So
I don't know
meant to go to the
how to fix
BK
it.
one?
Extra
Yeah,
$5.
Swinny BK. If you can show the Swinny BK tab on.
Oh,
on
so
the
I'm
screen,
actually meant to
that'd be
show it on the screen.
fine. If you can.
Yeah.
So basically, there's
Which one
two
is
presents
this?
here. Don't touch
But
anything
wait, why
just
did you
yet.
get me something? I thought we mutually agreed not to.
Wait, were we not getting each other stuff? What's the point of this
No,
segment?
we were, but I thought with Swiddy, I was supposed to get
Okay.
him the same
I
thing
got
that
a-
he was going to get me.
I
and
got
I'm
a simple
I'll just get
solution
that
for you
thing
too.
myself.
And-
69. Then you're mutually giving each other something.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, Mike. It's all good either way.
Okay, I
but
agree.
basically, so Mike, I don't know if you want to actually go in there and click on the picture and delete it to get
Yeah.
your.
Oh, that's such a cool idea.
okay.
I love
but
that.
wait, are you going to show a
Okay.
code that people could redeem on
No,
the...
no, don't worry. I wouldn't do that. I
Which
wouldn't
would
do
be
that.
awesome. Our loyal
wouldn't do
viewers can steal our gifts. That'd be fucking funny.
So I don't know if it's going to be delayed. I don't know. Into got maybe.
want me
if
to
you do
delete it?
Yeah,
It'd
maybe.
probably end up being delayed, yeah.
and through
I mean,
the magic
okay.
of,
do
we're
it.
saying that Mike's...
I'm in the tab, so.
Okay, so Mike's deleting it right now.
Yeah, oh, delete.
Okay.
Oh, what's this?
damn it! Can you get rid of the tag?
Yes,
I
yes,
must
yes,
get.
yes.
All right. It was meant to be group, but whatever. Okay.
Ooh.
That's an awesome photo.
This is totally not a front for a Steam gift cards, but basically it is a Steam Deck library backlog coupon
Yes.
for whenever the fucking thing finally gets out here. So, Mike,
Perfect, thank
after
you.
the show, I'll send you some codes to
Oh,
add to
Steam.
for your eventual Steam Deck and games.
Oh,
you
and
know,
you can buy
like,
And I
games
will
with
save
it.
it for that.
yeah, so that you can also then use that money maybe when there's sales, so you get
Wait,
more than.
can
maybe
he
one
buy a
digital
Steam
game.
Deck? Didn't we already have this question?
As long as it doesn't come out in the next 320 days, it's
So
fine.
you can't buy Steam Deck this year.
As long as it doesn't come out in the next 320 days, yeah. But there are loopholes. It's okay. I mean, birthday, girlfriend, that kind of thing. So
lying to myself.
So I'll and after the show I'll tell you like the value and stuff. So but Intergot, and you've got your present to open.
All right, let me
so
do this.
All right, so this is Intergot's Nintendo first-party digital backup fund for the time-poor man who desires convenience. So my original idea was I thought the My Nintendo store in Australia might have gift cards so I could make it an amiibo fund.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any form of gift card.
No, they don't.
So now Intergot has said time and time again that he likes to get physical games and AAA Nintendo first-party titles. But then there's times when he's like, oh man, do I buy the game again digitally for convenience sake? So this fund, which is totally, again, not gift cards to the Nintendo eShop, will help towards, well, you can use it for anything, but maybe a game, a AAA game that you buy physically, but you just want it digitally so you don't have to keep swapping the cards. So yes.
I was actually thinking of buying Breath of the Wild digitally. I'm like, damn, I really want Tears of the Kingdom digitally, but then I also want the fucking game. I might buy twice. Like a psycho.
So it can't match the custom printed hoodies for the show. No. But I hope these funds towards these endeavors are helpful.
I like it. I like the images. They're funny as well. I remember that cursed amiibo one that I did.
Yes.
I was like, damn it.
And Mike, sorry if I've misunderstood the situation with you.
No, that was probably my bad for not clarifying it. I am sorry, Intergod, for having such a lame gift this year. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the first year that I dated my partner, my girlfriend.
Here we go.
The current
and
one
I threw a massive surprise party for her the very first year that I knew her. She had no clue whatsoever. I even sneakily talked to her best friend while she was in the bathroom or something. And I'm like, hey, what's your number? We'll organize this thing. You need to take her out for the day.
DTF.
I know, just like. And anyway, she had no clue.
Wait, why did the best friend say no to this, by the way?
No, she was cool with me organizing a secret birthday party. Yeah. So she played along and she took her out for the day.
Yeah.
So she had no clue. And then she was just going to drop her off at my place. And she had no idea at all. And I invited all her family, closest friends.
Wow.
It was massive. Baked her a cake. Actually baked her multiple things. Yeah, like her favorite pandan cake. She loves pandan cakes and shit. It was massive, right? Like it blew her away. Next year, I'm like, oh fuck, was it your birthday again? Like I fucking basically forgot it.
You forgetting people's birthday? What a shock to me.
So yeah, it goes in cycles.
This is very.
I'm sure next year I'll blow you away with some really cool.
This is very manic depressive. Right?
I know, right?
It's all cycles.
I'm not sure what lesson you got from that. Like, oh, I should be better to remember, or oh, I went too far last time, so I shouldn't try so hard.
I don't think I learned anything.
Nah, Mike is like the bright shiny. He's the bright shiny person. If there's something bright and shiny, it's like, whoa. You're just a very creative person, like in the end, right?
I don't know if I am, but yeah.
No, but it's like this is what creative people do. It's like if they kind of get into something, they go crazy and like do like the craziest version of it. But it's like the consistency, it's tricky.
And no consistency.
All right. So maybe we need to chat offline about the situation with us, Mike. But thank you. Thanks for the gifts regardless.
That was fun.
Awesome. And
oh wait, we're way out of sequence of these things. Shit,
that's fine. I think we're just I guess just this is our chance to maybe just share any feelings we have. The fact that we're
Whoa.
Feelings,
Sure.
We're big manly
What
men.
are
We
they?
can share our feelings.
Let me Google it.
About this being the last regular, show, weekly podcast, I guess, like podcast episode, you should say, like maybe ending on 110, at least for now. It's been an amazing ride. I've learnt so much about not only, you guys, but also the gaming industry as well. And playing a lot of games I never would have played otherwise. And it's just, there's been so many fun moments. Like for me, still my favorite thing that I could go back and laugh my ass off is 1 min for the swim. So eventually I grew to kind of
resent it,
resent 1 min, but the fact that I somehow managed to kind of get one over you guys on the pre-recorded version of
That
that.
pisses me off. That still pisses me off, man.
The reaction at the end when Mike's like, he's a machine, and I'm not even in my chair when he says it. It's just a moment that I will never forget. No, there's way too many things.
There is. I feel like I would like to do some kind of like, compilation, but it would be very long though. That's a bit of a challenge. The other thing I'd like to know is like a bit of the lore of the show, because it feels like there's certain things, like the amiibo one we mentioned a lot of times, but there's other things as well. Like, Joe Jives. I don't know. There's just like lots of stuff. I think back to like right at the start when we did the whole Game Boy thing. That was pretty cool. Just how everything was laid out. We were covering like 100 articles. It was like insane.
I wish you could show the what the first episode run sheet looks like or now. That would be amazing.
I probably could actually. But yeah, no, it's been awesome. Like the thing is, we're so bad at like marketing and all that kind of stuff. Like we actually did another show previously as well. So I don't think it's like the end of that kind of stuff. We'll probably randomly create a totally different podcast and then not connect the two at all, not mention to any people following us.
Well, the two shows, I think, from memory. But
yeah, I've got the I've got that tab open if you do manage to bring it up. But yeah, as he said, we bit off way more than we could chew on the first few episodes.
Oh yeah, I think I should be able to. Can you see? Yeah, look at this shit.
Like this is our very first run sheet.
Holy moly!
And just the amount of stories that were
look
in
at
that
sheet. It's
sheet.
fucking insane.
And look, and his timestamp, like some of them we talked about for 30 seconds.
It's so
because
insane.
even at the end
the
of
bargain
this,
bin, the bargain bin.
Even at the end of this,
and then this is the one deleted story.
we had a whole massive feature on Bonk's Adventure on top of all that stuff.
That was actually cool. I liked doing that stuff. That was what I liked. Let's make the history right. We're gonna cover the story that Take-Two sued over the use of tattoos in WWE 2K. So the judge ruled in the trial that it would be required to decide if it constitute copyright infringement. So we've now fixed this.
I like the categories ultra niche.
Ultra niche. As if like if you got a random one, it's like it's totally niche already. Oh fuck, it's really funny, man. There's some cool stuff. Yeah, I remember the Doom SNES. Maybe there's just like a lot of like Amiibo are dead. Look already talking about Amiibo.
And that story, 45 seconds.
Wow, that was only the beginning.
Let's just cover it shortly, boys. That is funny. No, but there's been a stack of really funny moments. I remember the Snapchat era when we were doing the Snapchat filters. Where I'm like, I'm just going to do a little bit of tasteful Snapchatting here, which then turned into Mike fucking putting on every filter that he fucking could every 2 seconds without even checking them.
I think as much as like no one's perfect, I think there's some stories I'm really happy how we covered them. Like, we really researched stuff. We covered things like the Celeste creator and their journey and everything around that. And I think, like you kind of walking through a minefield on some of those topics. I think we handled it really well. So I'm proud of you guys. Really proud of you.
Thanks, proud of you boys. No, it was really fun. It was funny, like, there was a lot of arguments. There was a lot of like mostly fun. I'd say like 95% of it was all fun. I'm sure we'll do something else. I don't know what it is though. It'd be interesting. And like I said, I definitely want to. I was actually talking to Joe Jives about like playing multiplayer with him on a few things. Like maybe even It Takes Two, which would be really funny to play.
You still owe us a Mario Kart tier list into your,
Oh yeah, maybe I'll come back with that. Well, I want to go to Japan this year, so then I can play Mario Kart VR. And then,
I've seen that 2 years now.
I know, but then I've held to my word.
You made up a pandemic so you couldn't go there.
I know. I was like, I reckon if you go back to those early shows, I'd be talking about, oh yeah, I want to go to Japan. Oh no, because we started it in the pandemic. That's the other thing. I can't believe that we started this show during the pandemic. Like, that seems crazy to me.
We're bored out of our minds.
That's what I was going to say. Bored. But I think, to me, it was about the friends you made along the way. Really, it was the fact that we did it, and
Our way.
all the episodes were, well, we did it our way, but all the episodes were done during the pandemic, and it really was. I wasn't catching up with anyone during that period. I haven't seen people in real life in that sense. I haven't caught up with friends or anything like that. So it's a really good way to stay in touch on a weekly basis and actually connect with people that you've known for a long time. And even though we talked about games specifically, it was just a really good way to keep in touch. And to me, that was a huge, huge thing every single week. And I wasn't here on as many episodes as you guys, because I'm not as resilient as you guys are with the shit that goes on in my life. And I don't deal with stress and other things that come my way as well as you guys do. But, I still feel like I was along for the most of the journey, and it's been an awesome journey. To me, more than that, to me, like 99% of the time, it's been really cool. And then some episodes were just freaking hilarious. I just left laughing when I put the microphone down. So
can I say, you're a bit like the Jason Newsted of the band, where he's in the band for like 1986 all the way to 2001, and then still in 2001 they're like, this is the new guy in the band. I think you started in episode 13, right? We're up to 110, and it's like I'm not on as much as you guys.
And when we started those early episodes, I was a talking Xbox. That was
that's true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So part of me is like, how difficult it is it to actually use like the face tracking VTuber avatar to make myself an actual Xbox VTuber for the show for one episode?
Well, no, actually, that's what I've been talking to Joe about. Like, can he get something like that operational? That'd be really cool.
But yeah, it's and then you can guys convinced me, and I'd move. Like the big thing was I was waiting to move and get my wall of games behind me. So
I think honestly, it's been better to do it as a video thing. Because it's gone from more of a podcast to a YouTube show.
That's half the podcasts out there these days,
Yeah, so, that's true. Especially in this kind of format. Yeah, in this format, yeah. But no, it's been awesome. There's I actually started going through just the episodes, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just so much stuff. What I think is going to be cool, because I've done it a little bit with our other podcasts, is when you just go back and listen to some stuff of it. It's quite funny. It's quite weird, but it's very funny hearing shit from 2 years ago, and just pontificating about stuff. I'm like, wow, it's fucking wild in some ways.
Still pissed off about that Contra board game feedback. That was
Swinny,
that annoyed me to no end. You didn't explain the rules of the Contra board game. It's like, Jesus Christ, we said it existed. That's all you need to know.
I think that I care the least about the comments. I think Swinny cares the most. Probably. I think you get affected the most by it. And I think, Mike, you're every now and then something really pisses you off.
Yeah, but I don't know, because when we had that person on one of the first shows that made those comments about me,
you're ignorant.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you framed it. That was awesome. Yeah,
I still have it. I still have it's in a box right next to me, but I still have the actual framed comment.
I actually,
I'm gonna keep it.
I wish I would have put a new category for best comment. If on that channel, something to wrap up, because to me the best is still the Mario watches commenter, where it's like, you guys don't have any money or something.
Oh yeah, I can't believe we never did that. So yeah, can we say about that, Mike, or you're getting in trouble?
No, because I think actually no, I don't think
we never spoke about it. We never spoke about it. Should we speak about it?
I thought, yeah, sure. I thought we did.
So we're talking about this tag watch, which is fucking costs a fortune, and
not
then
as much as the recent ones, but
and the guy's like, "Oh, these fucking nerds, they couldn't afford it." Mike actually bought the fucking watch. Not because of the comment, but
And
separately.
I was so close to either
Making a
getting
video
one
or
of my
something,
mates
yeah.
that's got a sports car or forking out a few $100 to rent a Ferrari.
Yeah, that would have been
Just
awesome.
to do a short clip and walk out of it.
This is the
With the
comment.
watch on.
You guys make like 35k a year and it shows under the tag how I watch. And to date this video, I said, it's all right, we've got GameStop stock. And then he commented 3 nerds in a separate comment, and he just did 3 nerd emojis, which was just
That's I think like it's been good as well because seeing all the comments, it's like okay, I realize people are just dickheads. Like, why do I care? The only thing that I delete is where it's like, I don't know. I don't like deleting anything. If someone just says like, "Oh, you guys are useless" or whatever, I'm like, fine, I'll just keep it up, right?
Yeah.
But if they say stuff that's like hateful or like mostly hateful about other people, I don't really care if it's hateful about us. But if it's about other people, I'm like, I delete it. So the one I delete the most is the Bu Nia stuff.
Yeah.
Like I go through, he's still alive, she's still alive, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just delete this shit. Like I don't need this shit in my life. But we just got a comment. So we got a comment from Roast Bowls. It goes, I love the Bigwig podcast. Found y'all about 2 months ago and have been binging all your comments. Never stop. Well, we're stopping.
Because of you.
Unfortunate timing on that one, but
Yeah, sorry.
But it's not the complete end. I think as we said,
We'll
like
still do stuff.
we'll do.
It's a good
some
platform. It's a
stuff
good
here.
platform to do stuff.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if there's any final words, or are we ready to sign off the last episode of the Big Week in Gaming podcast?
I guess we are ready to sign off.
Oh, Mike did something with his mic. I'm like, what is he going to say something, or is he?
No, I was just replying to Hooded Dude, who was one of our, main followers
yes.
on the chat, and it'd be really rude of me not to acknowledge his comment.
Yeah,
Given
there's
that
been
we may not talk for a while.
some great community members as well that it is that part of me does kind of like feel like you let people down if you're ending something, but I think that we've had a great journey. So
Can I just say, because do you still listen to the Completely Unnecessary podcast, Swinny?
here and there, I'll catch random YouTube.
They're finishing
stuff,
it in a couple of episodes.
I did not know that.
And actually shocks me, right? And it's like, then I kind of felt like, I could have, not saying that it's happening for us, but as a listener to that podcast, I was like, that's just part of my week or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, I'll listen to that shit. And then, I could imagine that people may feel like that. And it's like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy. But like you said, I'm sure we'll do something. I wouldn't even mind just doing something that's totally random. It's not about gaming, but we'll see how that goes.
And if there's 2 things that I'm proud of, is the fact that A, we did that 2.5-hour Kemco tier list.
Yeah, that
and
was
B, cool. We did a tier list of 100 episode names of our show.
That was cool. I love that. That was good. That was so self-indulgent. That was awesome.
Ultimate shit posts, those 2. I loved it.
That was cool. And I like the actual top 10 games of all time. That was really cool. That was really cool.
Oh, well,
We should come back with a tier list of all of our episodes. Do you want to do that, Swinny?
We'd have to watch them all every game.
Yeah,
okay?
give me a few months to watch every single episode again. Well,
Cool.
Any final thoughts?
No, it's been awesome. It's been
thank you.
It's been really cool.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Appreciate my time with you guys.
Once again, we will be back in some form here and there, but this is the Big Week in Gaming podcast signing off for the show. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.